D Inferno, for those of you that aren't aware of just how good this team are on this map, they're in pole position to win this game now.
Certainly you'd think so, just because of what we saw in the group stage from them on this map, on Inferno, specifically with the 3 wins on it. But I still don't think that's a large enough sample size to say that this is like a done deal, right? You'd imagine it would be, with wins over someone like SK, for instance. But this is where you really see the risk from Immortals kind of coming to fruition of banning Nuke instead of taking out this Inferno. Because now, yeah, it is going to give them a big comfort pick, and they did lose their own map, so all of a sudden that's the advantage they gave up in the veto. And now you come back to it and you say, this is why you don't do that. This is why you just ban Inferno. You float Nuke, see if what's going to happen. You know, call the bluff. Say, Big, are you going to actually be willing to pick Nuke? Do you have something in store for it? Maybe, but they've just got to. The Immortals is just going to have to make sure that they can play better on the T side this time around. Okay,
Natu, very quick thoughts on what you expect for map number 2.
I expect Big to be taking this, to be honest with you. They've showcased enough for me to be comfortable to say that, but at the same time, Immortals they're now slouches on Inferno either.
Yeah.
They can change things up on, especially on the CT side. They have some really good setups on that bomb side. They play pit, they play the bomb side. Sometimes they'll be aggressive towards the middle, so that's going to be a challenge on its own for Big to be fun and the right pace to be able to get rounds.
All right, thank you very much, gents. Let's head back to the arena and your commentary team for game number 2 of Sadakist and Henry G.
Thank you, Paul. Yes, game 2, hard to believe that was only the first map of a best of 3.
Yeah.
Took us into overtime, dramatic ending to it, but some very good rounds and quite a dramatic storyline throughout, really, with the comeback from Big.
I didn't think it would be happening at all. I even said at half-time, I thought, this one, it feels like it's done. Maybe they would have pissed like a dent in the second half. I didn't think. Not only did they win the game, like it finishes in overtime, like I said, a very dramatic finish as well. Some huge plays from Lagia as well. Who'd have thought he would be the MVP of Big?
Yeah, that's Jason said it on the desk, and I agree. That's the best game he has ever had in his career.
Pro CS for him, like that's definitely the best in terms of the gravity of the performance as well. Quarterfinal at a major, what a time to show up.
Yeah, about perfect time to show up, to be completely honest, especially in a game where they were so far behind at 12-3. It's going to take some individual heroics to pull you back into those situations, and he certainly had plenty of them. We know going over as well onto this map, he is very good at holding down Banana, typically plays toward the B site. Tapson will absolutely be a factor. He was a little bit slow early, I think, which, to be fair, the whole team was, but he came alive late. A couple multi-kills just toward the end, including in overtime. That definitely helps cement the deal, and as close as you'd like as well, a 1v1 to decide it.
Of course.
With a knife.
Yep. Well,
way to go, Kiev.
You love to see that. That's great. Kiev's very good on this map, especially. I think he's great. Like we discussed earlier, he went toe-to-toe with Fallen on his particular map, considered one of the best CT orbers we probably have, and got lots of frags against him, looked very convincing. And Inferno, just remember, they've played this map 3 times in this tournament, Matt. They're very comfortable in it. Obviously, a lot of information available for the Immortal side, but do they read into that a little bit too much? Who knows? But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The scoreline, 1-0 in favor of Big. They win Inferno, that will do it. Let's make some noise as we get into the Inferno T-side start for Big. 2 sets of armor, 3 smokes, Molotovs as well. We know it's going to be tactical, it's going to be technical. And I would guess towards the B side, that would make sense considering the Molotovs they've got. But they have been flirting the idea of going towards middle as well. They've got great smokes for that side.
Bolts has already checked it, already spotted it. They know that they like to go that route. They came out of spawn on the right side, the secondary entrance. So even though Bolts has spotted it, they haven't slowed the pace at all. He's the only one in the site. The others stacked up early B with a push down. Kiev could catch them off. Thankfully, they'll rotate back instead of the flank, but it's all pressure for Bolts. They've rotated Lucas and KNG. So rather than the flank, rather than the aggressive push to commit, it's a systematic rotation back, and it's actually quite well timed, and it favors Immortals in the fact that they get 2 kills to work with. Kiev's going to try and work his way into B on his own. Good shot, steal to spot. Good shot, steal to kill. Catches Kiev on the way by. Again, the next, same result, different player firing, to be fair. It's King is the maker. God B is in a 1 versus 5, so tactics not really an aspect or factor in the round. Good information early from Bolts, and I actually don't mind the setup from Immortals to rush 2 down and then back off with a quick rotation.
Why not? Get aggressive. We know it's going to be an execution-based play from Big. You find that first pick, that completely shuts down whatever they had in their minds to bring to the table there. They get the first kill, and still, he's starting to arrive now. 3 kills there in the pistol. And no plan for Big, meaning the buy has to come in here. We're going to see a force buy with Tech9's PG50s. These smokes to work with as well, but none of us just yet. It was a back and forth affair in the early stages of Cobblestone as well. Remember, Big lost the pistol on Cobble, but then the only rounds they got, 3 of them, were after winning this second round force buy. Seems like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? But it certainly happened. More aggression from Henny this time. Had a really rough game. Takes a little bit of damage there. Lucky to really take that much, I would say. But Keeve burning alive down to 55 HP.
Back off, deep smoke still deployed. Just 2, it appears, for Henny. Brother just in front of him. Of which are on SMGs. Bolts with a shotgun, one aggressive toward the apartments. No one was there. Big, without the early rotation coming back in from Immortals, could catch them off.
5 players towards this B bomb site. Lucas and Henny playing off each other, of course. The twins going at it. One in new boxes and one a second orange to see if this works out for them. They need to find this first kill.
That's got a problem. They've got a problem because they get the kills on the way through. And the late rotation, KNG's only just made it towards CT now. Smokes are still deployed. Default plant. A 4-man situation to work against the 3 of the Immortals players. Steel has a kit. They have 1 smoke, 1 Molotov, 3 flashes to work back in. KNG starts the charge from Ruins. No one at the oranges to be spotted. Tabson refusing to peek. And a stack up at Emo. Gambit can play this off of Nex, who's gone wide. He's low on HP next, so he can be somewhat sacrificial on the Tech-9. They'll check it all the way through. They spray down both Steel behind the pillar. Coffee does very well. But Bolts with the shotgun takes down Tabson. 1 player left in it, it's Legia, and he's got it down to a 1-on-1. He's on it though, he's inside of it. Legia's lost track, Legia's lost the round. Immortals inside of smoke, get it. With a late defuse and another knife attempt. Come on, Big.
They gave it the best shot there. It was a great entry to the B side. The smokes were great. The execution was on point. They managed to get the first 2 kills, and just to know, Matt, I was about to finish my point, but this is more exciting. Big, a 4th buying in round number 3 as well. The bomb goes down. They bring it down to the 1v1, so they're going to try and do what they can. 3 UMPs, 2 Tech-9s as well. They've got a map in the bag already. They can afford to be a little bit more cavalier with their approach in terms of the buys. Immortals getting fired up, just in case you're unaware. You can see your opposition. They're face to face in those glass booths, so bit of banter, bit of showmanship. It will be coming in eventually. KNG trying his best there to rile up the big side. Number 3. Smokes aplenty for the terrorist side. Tech-9s, UMPs, not so much in terms of firepower. It was very close, but the shotgun retake there, managing to deny Legia the clutch. Another situation for him where he could have been the hero.
Back toward the apartments. The big side Gambit. Next, Keeve on the SMGs. Early aggressive call from Big. Passive setup toward Pit. Again, Graveyard's popular. We've seen it a lot this weekend. Or this week. Has been a week. Play started last Sunday. Any timing goes down. He gets it right, but actually gets dinked up, and they're going to try and chase him all the way back to the site. He's got to get around the half wall. He's tagged again, down to 19. They can't quite close it. It was the right idea to chase, but KNG, meanwhile, over toward A, is able to catch off Tabson on entry. Flashover was a little bit late. Crossfire is very well established, including that of Archway, as Lucas lets them walk by.
They could get the bomb down here. They head back towards B, and Henny's very passive in CT spawn. He's low HP as well. Needs Lucas and KNG to join him, which they do, but the smoke's decent. A plan here, very likely. Might have the boost here on the CT side.
Gambit's got to be very careful on 13 HP with that smoke down, and they're spamming through it. He's the one with the bomb as well. He's only going to get to default now. He may not even get that planted because they're spraying through. Apparently the coffins are made of steel because they're able to hold off enough to get the plant down, but Nex will not survive. And it's another round for Immortals.
Yeah, so not winning the round, but it's not all lost. Big getting that bomb down just about. I have no idea how they got planted there. 4 seconds to try and get that bomb down, and somehow dodging all the bullets. 3 players do survive there for Immortals. It's going to be 3-0 in their favor, but that bomb plant, oh, it's a bit rough now for Big. I think they'll take a timeout just to work out what do we do in terms of the buy here. We've got $4,500 for Nex. Everyone else hovering around the 3K mark. Legia, 3,700. Tabson yet to frag, but very early days. It's Immortals now. This is a fantastic position for them. Just keep their SMGs, keep farming some money here, establish themselves after having a rough couple of rounds in terms of close scenarios, but this is looking very promising now. So Lucas has let us know, so okay, this might just be a technical issue. We did have some mouse problems coming into this one.
That's on Henny though, not on Lucas. Henny does not look very happy.
Well, he hasn't really been playing lights out right now. It's been a very quiet performance for him. Everyone, even on the analyst desk, was kind of agreeing with me, I guess, saying, why is KNG on that main AWP? Like, pride could not be a thing in the majors, right? You've got to say, like, who's performing better? Both AWPers, sure, it might not be the system you've worked on, but it felt like that was the call for me. KNG's hitting absolutely everything, wrecking the opposition, 28 frags after regulation. You think, like, surely we'll give him the AWP, and Henny will seem to be the main AWPer throughout, which is fine, that's his role, but he definitely is not having his better performances. That's normally the thing, it's either 10 out of 10, amazing, looking so good, so fast, flicking everyone, but other times he can just drop off completely.
Definitely an issue. Hopefully this time he has his headset in the right way.
Yeah, that would be nice. If you're just joining us, the second map of this best of 3. The last quarterfinal of today, at least. We have one more tomorrow. That's when the hometown heroes come in. That is Pro up against North. That should be quite the game, especially in this arena.
And a direct rematch of the quarterfinal at E-League.
That's true, where Virtus Pro bested them just about after that amazing performance from Majors Boy.
And you know that after all the banter, as we always refer to it as on Twitter, that Config is going to be a target. Virtus Pro are going to be all over him.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, that's going to be one hell of a game. That'll kick things off tomorrow. For now, Immortal's just working out how they can fix the issue. We're not sure what it is. There have been a few issues with the mice, but headsets are off and big, as you can see. Not chatting there, just going to sit in silence until we're ready to go.
It's on the right, in-game leader. It's to be swift on his calls and how aggressive they try and get in the face of Big on this map. And he does not look pleased. He looks rather dismissive, actually, about the whole situation.
Well, after the crashing out with that 12-3 lead, you would be a little bit gutted, wouldn't you? This is a big game.
You got to drop it. That one's behind you now.
Well, they're known as a very emotional team, emotionally invested into every game they play. Very pumped up when everything's working, but as soon as it crashes, the morale can go out the window. It's not looking too fantastic in that booth. They're winning right now 3-0. You'd think they'd be more fired up, but I guess the technical issue, just trying to work out what the problem is here. The admin's working away.
God, be staring across, wondering what's going to take. How much longer they'll be.
Lucas is still not on the server, so I can only assume it's...
They've given him his cell phone as well, so I'm assuming he's doing a re-authentication right now to get, or two-step authentication to get back into Steam.
Exactly. That's what it will be.
Yeah, he's just submitted the cell phone back to them, I think.
Well, we did say coming into this one that Immortals would have a chance to watch plenty of Inferno games with Big. They've only played this map in this tournament up until the previous one. They had 3 showings on Inferno. So sure, that's great. It's obviously a map they're comfortable on, but it means Immortals, Zach, the coach, can watch those demos all day long, get all the nuances, all their little tells as to what they like to do. They're a great team in terms of executing with that B bomb side especially. There's not many teams that play like them in terms of smoking in front of the site, going for those CT spawn splits towards the site itself. It's very inventive, but definitely can be countered. It's just quite rare to say they're the only team that's running that right now. I'm sure more and more teams will give it a go as Inferno develops. That was the thing with Inferno previously. Just when we had it removed from the map pool, it was just getting to a really exciting point. Like it seemed like T-sides were a lot more compelling, a lot more ideas were being developed, and obviously got removed from the pool. It's great to see it back. It's one of the best maps, I think, in terms of how Counter-Strike should be played and the kind of different approaches you can bring to the table.
Yep, enjoying himself. But wants to jump back in. Well, apparently, Henny does have the broken mouse still and does not want to play with it any longer.
Could we just address this whole...
Why do we not have 2 mice for everyone here?
This is getting mad now, isn't it? Like you see on Twitter, players needing spare components. Surely the mouse...
It was Kiarby that was playing with someone else's?
Surely you just bring the spare mouse. So these guys are sponsored by all the companies and all the mice you use. You get them sent for free, no problem. Bring 2 with you. The most important thing you need. The keyboard, play of anything. Mouse map, not ideal, but you could play of another one. Headset, nothing. The mouse is the one thing you do need with you, by your side, with the settings, the right model. It can't just be a similar one, it has to be the exact one, right? So yeah, just a PSA. Let's make sure we start bringing 2 mice. Maybe that should just be a requirement in the contract. Your August says that just make sure every event you've got 2 mice. If anything goes wrong, which probably won't, you've got a backup. The crowd is still here. Seems like Big are the favourite team generally.
Get their own entire section. I will say that section was a little bit quiet.
In the first
at the start of the game, the first half of the first map, they're not now. Zach is looking rather animated. They're obviously not pleased about this situation. And you have to wonder what caused the mouse originally. Is this a look back at it?
It was Henny, right? And he was having a very
I think this is it. We're going to see it right here. So that's why the mouse doesn't work.
He punched the mouse?
I would say so. I heard the right click is not working.
He punched the mouse. Of all the things to try not to damage, don't attack the mouse. It's innocent.
So at what point? Is this on him? Is it on...
If you don't have a spare and you broke it yourself, we can't wait forever, right?
I think it's kind of on you, unfortunately, friend.
Not really much to do that. Obviously, there'll be pro players here. It looked like a Zowie mouse from what I could gather. But we can't sit around forever waiting for him after he broke his own mouse. Just don't punch it, maybe. That's one way to avoid that situation. We did see some punching from the big side. Remember back at the minor?
Yeah, that's right. Legia broke a table when they got knocked down to the lower bracket of the playoffs.
2 very fiery teams in these booths right now.
One of them's all smiles, to be fair. I have broken 1 mouse before. You're right, they are getting emotional because I can see heads in hands right now.
Well, this is the problem now. They're going to be focusing on this, and if they have to play with the broken mouse, he has to rebind, right click. He's an AWP, right? He needs it. Either he'll have to go down to a rifle. That's all his only option will be. He won't be able to use the AWP if it's broken.
KNG can pick up the AWP.
Well,
we've seen that.
Might be a blessing in disguise, perhaps.
Just saw a second ago KNG with his head completely in his hands. Steel looks tapped out. This is not a good position for them to be in mentally right now. They're looking really out of it. So they have got him a new mouse. That's a change. He's untangling the cord. Looks like a Steel series. So yeah, I think that's the same as what he did have. Was not a Zowie. They'll get him into the server. Hopefully this will calm them down.
So the new mouse has been found, plugged in. Should be good to go. I guess it'll take him a little while just to get used to it. It obviously is going to feel slightly different. That's why players want to use the same mouse all the time. It's their specific one from home, so you had to kind of wear the feet in. It has a different feel. It'll take maybe a couple of minutes now just to kind of get used to it. Not really much you can do in pause time, though, unfortunately. You won't be able to jump around or do much with that.
Nope. It's going to be trial by fire. Again, it's partly on him.
But yeah, let's stop making this a thing. Let's bring 2 mice, and if anything ever happens, it's ready to go. Either way, hopefully we should be ready to go as well. It's 3-0 in favor of Immortals right now. Everyone is joining us. You missed a hell of a game on Cobblestone. It was Big that went down 12-3 on the terrace. So I couldn't really get much going whatsoever. It looks quite poor, uninspired at points as well. And then they switch over to CT half, win a pistol, and a lights out performance from Legia finds them in the lead here in this best of 3. And 2 maps they're probably very happy with. Inferno and Cobblestone to kick things off. We're on Inferno right now, and I said it when I saw the map point. I said this is looking like it's be 2-0 to Big. The fact is they've beaten SK Gaming. They've beaten FaZe and Cloud9 as well. They deserve a mention in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are big names. Well, yeah,
there you go.
No pun intended. There it is. It's back. But,
it's true. I mean, Cloud9 were in the finals last week in Cologne. Big were playing in a show match, they called it, in the Meisterschaft tournament, I think, or league, if you will, the German league, German championship. Yes. And now they're here in the playoffs after besting Cloud9, and as you mentioned, FaZe and SK, 2 of the top 3 in the world.
Yeah, crazy. Who would have thought? It looks like we're underway. We apologize for it, but like we said, a very emotional team, very fired up. There's a lot on the line here. It's their first major. Young man, of course, and sometimes the emotion gets the better of you, and he punched the mouse and ultimately broke it. Yes, they're replaced now, as Henny were talking about. And it looked like, like you said, like you can see, he was just alive before he punched it, and then I think it must have been as they lost the round in terms of the game. That's when he lost it a little bit there. It does happen.
It happened in the last map, to clarify.
Yeah.
Because there was a whisper in my ear saying that he was having issues as we started on Inferno. Obviously, they thought there weren't issues that were significant, and then discovered after the first round, or second round as it were now, that they are.
We're back. Thank you for bearing with us. Round number 4. The economy for the German side hasn't been looked after that well. They took a bit of a gamble and forced buying 2 rounds in a row with a bomb planted. Didn't work out for them, but they do have enough to scrape together this. 2 AK-47 to UMP, and damage being inflicted. That's still getting dinged to the very start. That's through the wall. As you can see, that's got B doing that damage. So that's great work. You can see the blood splatters on the wall and still packing. That's going to be the first gun round, and we'll see whether they can convert this weak buy into something at the top of your scoreboard right there. It's currently 3-0 for Immortals.
Again, they're going to play passive. Lucas, the only one toward Banana. Henny watching Arch so that KNG doesn't have to worry about them wrapping around, and he, therefore, closer inside of the A site with steel and bolts. KNG with a flash, looks like at the ready. To go above library, perhaps allow a repeat. Exactly that. They're a little early in doing it. No one's arrived just yet, but Lucas is about to come up with a threat. And remember, he is alone. Gambit puts him down. Rotations have to be quick and fast. They've got a little bit of time to get there, but not if the utility goes down from Big. Remember, we will, I expect at some point, to see the wall of smoke wrapped to ruins, but not in this round. It's not required. What is required is watching the fact that they've gone through the smoke. KNG's caught them off. Good time flash. They had no idea he would be there, and inside of the smoke itself, he gets next. Doesn't quite wrap up the round, but a very bold play, and it shows to work because bomb goes down. It's Legia versus 3. 17 seconds. Has information and eyes on only one so far. He's about to be flanked out. Doesn't even need to be required as Steel gets the kill.
Lovely, lovely work there, I have to say, from KNG. Managing to dispatch of his opponents from CT spawn. And we'll see whether he can keep that up. That was a good play, considering as well Big with that huge advantage. One player waiting the site. That was Lucas, got taken down. The CTs have to be very quick in their operation, pushing for the smoke. The flashbang was great. And KNG, great performance with the AWP in the first map. This time delivering with the M4A4. That third kill for the smoke as well. A little bit cheeky there. Manages to put it off. 4-0. That was a weak buy for Big, but they're going to have maximum loss bonus next round. So they can afford to take a partial buy this time. PG50's Tech 9s. Very fast pace play towards the bedroom. All 5 players here as well. We saw a lot of HE damage in the first map. That one doesn't quite land. This will be a smoke towards Arch side, possibly towards the library as well. Flash out, try and get that bomb down, and KNG playing in front of the smoke. That's intelligent. We'll see if it works out for him.
Waiting and waiting longer. Taps and waits for the flames to extinguish themselves. Wait for his teammates to get ready at the top of middle. Smoke is still there. Foot spotted though for KNG. That'll reveal they're there and forces the hand of Taps who has to go. Walks directly into a crossfire. Good find Legia, but that's not going to amount to much. Especially with Lucas well positioned to follow up with a hat trick.
5-0. Al-Shabai not really finding much of Big whatsoever. It's still very early days here. 5-0 though in favor of the Brazilian side. The AWP coming out. This time it's for Henny. Double AWP setup, definitely a possibility. I'm sure will be coming out at one stage, and why not? KNG with an absolutely godlike performance of that weapon in the first half of Cobblestone. Managed to get almost 30 frags, and Henny not so much. And considering he's got his whole mouse issue as well, and that quiet AWP performance, I'm not expecting too much, but let's see whether he can recover and get back into this. Looking very good for Immortal so far, but they are on the CT side of Cobblestone. The AWP's going towards Banana. Lucas and Henny working in tandem to try and find the first pick.
This is going to get very, very aggressive. This is what we were talking about, trying to get in the face of Big when they're not ready. This is a free kill. Up and to the right, not even. Taps and drops down. Forget setup. Immortals are taking the fight. Perhaps they have something in this. Perhaps there is a reason they left Inferno in the pool. Deep smoke again for Henny that allows him to stay solo toward Banana. A little bit longer. Big gap in that smoke, but he has an AWP that's looked directly toward it. Advantage to him, perhaps, with it.
5-4 now, 1 minute remaining. Very slow and methodical team, Big, that's for sure. But Henny, he's set up perfectly here. The fact he has the AWP in this position, it's great. He can find one frag. He's still safe as well. It's very difficult to pre-fire on that, and he nails an absolute blinder of a shot. Takes down Keith. 5 on 4, changes the line, and still safe at this point. He's trying to buy as much time as he can, keep them pushed off, and just hitting shots as well. Lovely stuff from Henny.
Additional nades toward top and middle. Lagia and Gambit backing away. AWP's AKs. In the hand. Still in the hands of Gambit. Speaking of this around Sid, but he's overlooked the fact that Lucas is faded back in, and Lucas is looking quite lovely over the last 2 rounds on his rotations.
Yeah, absolutely. Henny now finding some form as well. That's good. Just change the mouse. Rough performance from Cobblestone. Gets that kind of play. When you're solo on B as well, you're the anchor. You need to deliver some frags there. You can't go down with nothing. He stays alive, finds 2 kills, buys some time. Really nice stuff. That's a textbook round of Counter-Strike from Immortals there. We're going to round number 7. Sure, maximum loss bonus is there. That means you get $3,400 per player. Without that bomb going down, Matt, the money dries up eventually. You have to take something. And it looks like a partial buy will be coming through. We'll have a look at the scoreboard while we have this pause. Tabs in 0 and 6. That's not good news at all. We need him fired up. We need him ready. No one really fragging at all on the big side. The highest they've got is next in Lagia on 3 frags. Keeve 1 for 6 is the AWPer as well. Steel on 9. KNG and Lucas not far behind. So good to just check in and see what's going on. Another partial buy here for the big side. P250's Tech 9's UMP as well. Smoke's available. They have been flirting with the set pieces, but shut down. The push through the smokes. Immortal's not allowing them to have as much control as they're used to having, perhaps.
T50 quick toward the underpass, but you're right, there's no control for Big. We see so much tactical prowess. 2 for 1. Henny steps wide. And they'll line up and he'll walk away now with 5 kills to his name.
Yeah.
New mouse is certainly working.
Yeah, it seems to be. He's getting fired up now. This is going to help him out a lot. Good early performances, and this round looks like he's done already. 5 on 2 as quick as that, make it a 5 on 1. Lagia gets 1 back in return, but that's all kept. Lucas finds him. AK-47 shot to finish things off there. 4 players surviving for Immortals. And 2 for Henny once again, the collateral. As he holds towards Banana. That's going to find him some confidence now. Hopefully he can keep that up and keep pushing down. Pretty simple shot for someone like him, but it's always nice when you get a double kill. It's quite rare to see those these days, and there it is. And number 8 coming through, and Big.
Little yawn, maybe? Oh, I thought he was going to go for the full yawn.
The full yawn. Well, it's good you're here for the real analysis, man.
Thank you. It's all about psychology.
Yeah.
He's certainly looking sleepy at the start. Henry, see? I had somewhere I was going with it.
Yeah.
Lucas is looking aggressive, and this, I think, is going to be the name of the game for Immortals. I think it's all about aggression. They don't want Big the chance to set up. Too many teams have given them leeway. Oh, the flash! They don't realize it. Lagia just barely backs up and finds an angle. Almost kissed as Bolts goes back toward the library, but the books are overdue. Lagia's not going to pay a late charge. Keeve will still get a bomb plant. 9 HP. Lagia has 7. Henny has 3 kills to find.
Don't think this is worth it. He's too far removed from the situation. He's in second middle right now. He knows with the Tech 9 out, he's got the call there, low HP, but I don't think he can win the round here. Just trying to cause any further economical damage towards the big side. This will be the first round for them. And aggressive stuff from Immortals. I don't mind that at all. They're trying to mix things up just as Big. They're getting comfortable and working out how they're going to adjust. You throw down 3 players on that middle position, trying to get the picks in, but it was a brawl, an absolute brawl. Look at the HP of Big, but they come out on top just about and post their first round here. It's round number 8 going in their favor, 7-1.
Brazil over Germany.
Yeah, it's there. I mean, you couldn't resist it. I couldn't either. Yep. But it's happening.
First time we've had a 7-1 Brazil over Germany in a while.
Yeah.
Real deal. We've had lots of 7-1s where people still bring it up, but this time it directly relates.
Yeah. Well then. Double AWP setup. You said it was a possibility, man. I'm excited for it as well. The way KNG was playing on Cobblestone, I feel like he could do a lot of damage here. But as we said, Keith on this map throughout the tournament has taken some huge names down. Fallen, Alu is considered one of the best AWPers on Inferno. He went toe-to-toe with him and managed to come out as the victor. We'll see if he can recover now. He's having a very quiet game so far. Keith, 2 kills, 7 deaths. Taps, and that's the biggest problem, 0 and 8.
Song lands a tree, double nades as well. They're trying to find that early damage. They or rather received on the last map. Missed shot from Henny, peculiar enough, as they walk toward the top of the T-stairs. They'll know the 8WP is therefore toward B and try and push it back. That nade could land. And he's down to 41, but Copy does get tagged. Crossfire set. When do they go for the smoke set play? Look at the sandbags, this could be it, because they are lining up for execution after covering off the top of Banana itself.
Yes, indeed. Oh, Lagia, a bit of team damage there towards God B. It's fine, though. They're sending up one of their classic executions. Is this the one you want, Matt? Is this in front of the bomb site, going through spawn? Could be. We'll see.
Looks like they have a shallower smoke, so no. There's going to be a straight entry with caskets, but in the open, it's Lucas, and now Henny, the double team of the Twins inside of B. Henny with a fast shot, not quick enough to catch Lagia up close, who grabs the AWP in return. They've still got problems. They're down a man. No flank coming from Banana, but a fast rotation toward the ruins. And no plants, none yet. 30 seconds. Lagia's going to have to go for it. Molotov will give him a slight window to do so. If he doesn't take advantage of the window, he just sits still, and KNG's able to walk in. It's going to be a reset after 7-1. Another very good start for Immortals. Remember, they had a 12-3 lead. Big has only posted in the regular 30 rounds, excluding overtime, 4 T-sides so far. That's a bit awkward for Kyiv. Unintended jump.
Double up setup working out quite nicely there. Henny with 2 more frags. They keep trying to get towards that B bomb site, but he's ready for it. He was towards new boxes there as well. I assume they Molotov it. I saw him lining one up. It might have been missed slightly, but he shouldn't have that much freedom with those Molotovs deployed. They're very good at the executor. Don't leave anything open for the CTs really to even have those kind of angles. The idea is you Molotov absolutely everything. They're uncomfortable if they stand in the open, then you can refrag them even if they get the first kill. I'm not sure the Molotov missed or everyone was thrown towards new boxes, but Henny seemed very comfortable there. It'll be round number 10, 8-1. As you said, a full reset here for the German side. A map, the only map they've really played in this tournament so far. Their 4th showing here on Cobblestone. They've played, on Inferno. They played Cobblestone once in the previous one, but looking that confident right now. Immortals, on the other hand, looking fantastic. Mixture of aggression and finding decent map control on the CT side, especially Henny, looking much better.
Much, much better. He sits with 7 kills. Lucas, who's been playing the site with him, has 11. Double op setup. Steal with it. I assume it's spawn bit. Yeah, it is. He's got the perfect spawn to go toward mid. So look for another fast shot. Immortals, they are not giving Big space. I don't think Big really has much to work with anyway this round.
You said it's a reset. And that's reflected right now of the buy of Big. PT50s, Tech 9s, no armor. Little in terms of the utility. A couple of smokes and still, you called it. Managed to get that first pick, takes down Kyiv. And that's all you need to do. He's actually got vision of what sort of weaponry he's got. And he's taken down. Called as a pistol play. Fall back to the crossfires established. And wait for Big to make the next move. Pretty textbook stuff. Go for the hunt of the information to start. Use AWP. Get the man advantage full back.
Cubby for Bolts and Lucas on rotation once more. The passive play after the early aggression. Continue to slow Big's chances of getting execution. Ooh, dink, random from the Tech 9 as they push through, but KNG, he's still well positioned on the second op. Take that back, it's actually the same op. It's the first op that was thrown back over to him after Steel got the first pick. So third player to wheel one in the round, second player to get a kill with it. Steel back on the M4, his 3rd kill as he gets down 2, and Lucas again on rotation inside of A. Johnny on the spot will get yet another kill.
9-1. Big just can't get going here, but that was another eco round for them. Still fine, very early days. It looks like a huge one-sided score, but you have to remember this is the CT side of Inferno. If you just get 3-4 rounds, you're fine, and Big have already shown us that as well with their performance on Cobblestone, managing to lose the first half 12-3 and bouncing back, winning the game in overtime as well. They could have closed it out before then. They had match point first. It was the Pistols of Immortals to take them to overtime. 3 UMPs now. AKs are still not established, man. They're still struggling. A harsh reset. The first round they posted hasn't got them in a decent position here. Immortals with a double AWP setup. Nothing really up against them in that respect. Lucas, he's on the AWP, interesting enough. They swap over. He must have had a decent spawn. Back towards Henny now. And it will be Steel holding the A bomb site with KNG spotting the top and middle.
Lucas is already on his horse. Deep execution. Trying to force Henny back. Blinded by a high flash inside of smoke. Fast play this time. But only fastest to get position, or do they go all the way through? It certainly will. Flash inside of smoke. Lucas knows they're there, but has to back away. Fires those all his ammo. It's onto Henny. Who's being lit behind the new box, but he's certainly been on fire as he tries to go for more, though. Keevan next finally solved it. They get both players down. They'll get a plant with a man advantage. As the retake wraps from A.
Yeah, the gear upgraded the AWP as well. They've got a battle towards the ruins area, but KNG doesn't hit the shot. That was the chance, but still, he's lighting him up. 3 kills come out of nowhere. It's up to next now with the UMP. Doing a good job. Damage inflicted. Can't find the final frag. The defuse will come in. It was a decent attempt there. But Steel and Bolts delivering another fantastic performance there, and double digits have been achieved.
When the clutches like that are not going your way, you're certainly having trouble. They had bomb down. KNG missed a shot toward Ruin, and Steel capitalized on it.
Yeah.
He actually popped out to find 2 immediate frags. They therefore had the information. The third was toward Emo, and they took advantage completely. 10-1.
This was the problem on Cobblestone. They were doing everything right in terms of getting the bomb down, getting the plays onto the bomb side, but falling apart when it really mattered. You can see the coach now head in hand, and now the Brazilian's getting fired up. KNG's enjoying himself. It's round number 12. Double orb setup still rolling, and we're going to have Tech 9s. PT50s once again. Only got first aid loss players for Tabson. Trying to get stuck in, can't find anything just yet. He's still on 0 kills. It's a pretty easy spray down for them. Got to be the final player remaining. Matt, that's a huge deal. Tabson, 0 and 12.
That's ridiculous.
Hey!
And we've got another night. Steel pays them back. 11-1. Thank you very much. Have that on a platter. 11-1, and you're right, Tabson, best player arguably in the server based on stats and how things have gone lately, has no kills, not 1.
Yeah, what a gutting way that would be to drop the second map. Your best player, your superstar almost, unable to find a single kill. Still, insult to injury there.
KNG's now taunting.
Yeah, he's like, yep, stop that. Zach tells him, like, calm down, you haven't won the game yet. Let's not embarrass ourselves here. But still, you like to see that, getting fired up.
I like that they face each other for this reason.
Great,
get some fire back. We talk about it. The taunting is kind of non-existent. Well, I guess the 360 stage is a way to make it work. Immortals, what a turnaround. Double op setup again, and he doesn't quite make the jump to the top of the half wall. Goes forward of it anyway. Confidence as ever, especially when you're rolling like this. He may just walk down. He's already scoped in. He could just walk out with the AWP behind them. Depends on the speed by which they disappear from the top of middle. Not fast enough. He gets Keeve. He gets next. They have no idea, and they just walk into a trap.
Yeah, this is not good enough once again from Big. 1 round posted, and 4 spies not working out for them. They've taken ecos. They've had enough in many rounds to actually go for their executions. They're getting the bomb down just about, but the clutches just aren't working out for them. In this round, they didn't even arrive into Immortals. Great pincer coming down Banana as well. Big slow plays, methodical stuff towards middle, getting ready for the final commitment. Backstab coming in, finding kills the AWP and the M4A4s, and another tactical timeout. 3 out of 4 used so far. They're desperately trying to get back into this game, but it's not looking great. Currently maximum loss bonus, and it looks like they're investing into this round. Not fully, okay, so Tech 9's arm up, got B, gets out the UMP, but Immortals showing up dramatically, or maybe a lack of Big on the server. This is not the team we saw in the group stages of the Swiss format. 3 and 0 for them, all on Inferno. Their T-sides were probably the best thing about them. They looked fantastic in terms of the executions, picking apart their opposition, and still Tabson 0 and 13. This has to be rectified.
What a shocking event. I mean, 4-0 now in this event. 3 maps, or at least 3 times they've played this map, Inferno, and gone unbeaten against the best teams in the world. I think maybe Jason's right that the impetuous style from Immortals is catching them off. They aren't even looking like they have any clue what to do for execution, and we know that's not the case. Why has none of that come out yet? Why have we not seen the creative smokes?
I think they're a little bit scared to do it at this point. They know that the intel's out there. They were a team on the cusp of Tier 2/Tier 1, and then now everyone knows how they play, but here's their commitment towards the A-bomb site. Can they find anything here? There's an opening. They're still looking to shut them down. It's going to be equal so far, but they have the man advantage now.
The new Steel was in Graveyard. They get a little bit fortunate. He runs out of ammunition because they'll finally get a second round on the board. It's taken that long. Round 15 we head into. It's 12-2, and perhaps you're right. Maybe the needle has worn the groove too deep because they've not gone back to any of the repetitive plays that were so uncharacteristic of the top team. So new, crafty from Gambit.
We'll see what happens here as we go further and further into the first half. It's round number 15, Matt. 2 rounds for Big. It's better. Something to work with. They got 12-3 in the first half. A commitment towards the apartments finds number 2. Still not enough though. 13-2 just won't cut out this one. Even though, to be fair, I said that of course at a 12-3, but it feels like this one that is not arriving. And Tapson gets his first kill. There we go. So it's a work with. The crowd are enjoying it towards the boiler room. It's 1 kill, but yeah, let's get fired up.
Well, he's gone down, so he gets only the 1, but yes, it fires up the German fan club. bo3 is still alive in this, despite being very low on HP. He's down to 5. And he's got next, though. It's Gambit and Keeb only. Gambit's at the top middle. KNG doesn't quite spot him from behind the pillar, so it's given them a chance for the opening. More so because bo3 is trying to anchor the pit with so little life. It doesn't even matter. He's got lots of life left for the fight. 13-2. Immortal shut them down once more.
Clinical stuff from Immortals. That's a perfect CT half. A mixture of calculated aggression, great AWPing from Henny. Seems to have bounced back from that awful performance from Cobblestone. The duo between him and Lucas as well is looking fantastic there. When he falls back, when he has to go into the crossfires, they're locking them down. And Big, to be fair, their executions at default are working. They're getting in the side, the bomb's going down. They're just not closing games out in terms of the clutches aren't coming in their favor. They're coming very close every time. It's unlucky in that respect, but 2 rounds. And I'll say this as well, Tabson 1-14. The fact is he gets that 1 for 15. Should I correct myself? The fact he gets 1 kill, actually, it's quite a big deal, man. Like, it won't be remembered as the times Tabson went Slayer. He got 1 kill, right? It helps you out in terms of going for that second half. Just knowing, okay, I've got that out of the way. I can just make sure I can now focus in the second half as we'll get into it. Much needed pistol round here. Exact same story, really, but even worse. That's what it was with Cobblestone.
Yeah, get that Berlin wall back. Standing tall, taps, and there he goes. He's already on the board. This half starts it with a good pistol shot on the USP. Here he peeks, gets another as well. No confidence lost for Tapson, but does go down, overextends, perhaps overstayed the welcome as Lucas was ready for the repeak. Not ready for Legia's repeak. Great shot. Range is winning, but they're only up by 1. Next is on 3. They have to be very careful on how aggressive they want to be because they cannot afford to be tirelessly and trying. Unnecessary dying would cost them dearly. I mean, Legia, again, is still going to sit out toward Banana because he wants to hold it down. He could bait his teammate in. If they go back toward A solo hold from Keeb. And a solo hold that has Cubby. Is he going to be ready for KNG? Because he's actually looking top middle. He could be caught off right now. This could call for the rotation back the other direction as he comes around the corner and nails it. Thankfully, though, they get the bomb at the exact same time with aggression in Banana.
Yeah, that was never going to work out for the T side at that point. This should be a big victory. 40 seconds remaining. They've locked down the bomb at Legia with a smart play. He's actually in second middle here. Could go towards underpass, maybe even a step further and try and backstab KNG as Next tucks himself into the corner to try and defend that bomb the best he can. Huge problem for KNG, but still within a chance. Finds his first kill. Next is low. It could all fall apart.
Legia's too slow for that because he doesn't know that he's already gone down mid, so he does have the bomb, but he's also gone slow himself, not knowing that Legia is on the flank. He could sort this. No, he's not. He's going to go back toward it. He's going to go right back toward it. Another knife. He's missed it. Oh, no! And I don't know Portuguese and can't read lips, but I would say there's some choice words to attempt the big players in that because it's a round they had to win. And it slipped away. 14-2.
Take a pause after that one, perhaps. I don't know. Those are the ones that really kill you. He can hear the sound cue. He's got a knife out. How are you not getting that frag, Legia, after posting such a sick performance of Cobblestone? That was their chance to get back into it. KNG has been fired up this game. I'll give him that. And it's an embarrassing state of affairs with Legia. That's a kill he should be getting.
I'm not even sure that was Portuguese seeing it again.
No, it wasn't. He can't lead risk, can he? Fair enough.
Well, it's bomb down at the top of middle for them to slowly play with. Legia gets 1 kill in this round on the scout. It's the 1 kill he would have wanted in the last round, let's be honest. Next goes back toward top of the alt middle position, but he's found as well. Now 3 looking more and more likely, but Keeb does get Lucas. Problem is he and Gambit are both in the 20s. Still manages 1 more kill. Bomb's still down. 1 versus 2, but he's got to be absolutely perfect on his peak. Goes back out. bo3 is ready. Map point all ready for Immortals.
It is indeed. I don't think the comeback's on at this point. They have to keep force buying, and this could be a very one-sided affair. 15-2. 1 round will do it. See the 3rd map. UMPs, CZs, Desert Eagles, it's not looking too good right now. Lagia had the chance to keep their head above water. That pistol, he played it perfectly. The flank was there. They had no idea it was coming in. Knife out for that T player. Can't find the shot. The USP can be quite a cruel mistress in that respect. He missed the first few shots, especially jumping around. It can be a little bit problematic, but that was a kill that was on a plate.
Absolutely.
That should be taken.
Even though, I mean, talk about the headshot potential on a pistol round for the USP. He had time to hit 3 body shots easily. Nades will go in. Slight damage on Lagia, caught in flames as he retreats. Immortals will slow the pace, and not only could they be the first to beat Big on Inferno, a map that Big has really stepped the game up in general in terms of the meta even in some ways. Okay, I take it back as soon as I talk about it. I was going to say they could batter them, but Big with something in this round. 4 versus 2, a minute to work with, but Lucas gets Nex, who's desperate to try and catch them off. He's able to realize he's down at the bottom of the bridge, and they will at least pick up one on the CT side.
Well, the journey begins here. 3 players surviving, all upgrading to AK-47s as well. So it can take 12 rounds in a row just to force overtime. I'm not believing in that just yet. It seems like this one has just completely fallen apart. The map has been so promising for Big. Something they've been working on. They said it's their latest addition to their map pool. And you can see the Immortals have got their number this time. I don't think the comeback will happen, but 1 round at a time. That's all Big need to focus on. Don't look at the top of the scoreboard. And see what they can do. We'll check him with tabs in as well. He's getting back into it. 5 to 17 now, but is it too little, too late?
Again, they go back on to whatever rifles. Well, I guess just the one for Steel, but whatever they can afford. Eager to shut it down. They can afford to be a little aggressive at this point. They've got so much to work with. Good trade from Steel. The archway for a rotation. They're waiting for Lagia. Needs to be very careful not to be caught, because if he goes down, they'll flash out as well timed. They could push back through CT, cut off rotations as well. He goes back around the corner. Molotov will control the angle. Smoke thrown. He knows they're still there. He'll walk into the flames, and he 1Gs with a 1 kill. It was almost by design, as he's also forced them back to top mid. Taxon will capitalize.
Yeah.
It was all by design.
It's all fine. 3 players surviving. Now it's time to get somewhere. 15-4. It's going to take a huge comeback here, but if there's a team that'd be believing in themselves, it'd probably be Big. Have to take the eagle here. A bit of a force fight from Immortal there to try and shut it down as quickly as possibly could before the CD economy gets established, but now a chance, well, at least a round to feel comfortable. Big just be up against the PG50s, unarmored players as well. 1 flashbang. Normally go to like either rush B on this one, or you go to the apartment and flash out off the chimney. Looks like it's the former. Straight up rush B. Good grenades coming in as well. We know Big have been great with those. And the spray down, a chance for taps into the bottom of the scoreboard.
Oh, doesn't quite. He got 2. It looked a little awkward. Thankfully, Lagia is immediately there, and he'll continue to add to his stats. Pistol round may still haunt them. Let's not let him off the hook too easy, but he sits at 16 and 16.
Yeah.
He actually leads the way again for Big, which is quite astonishing that he's the player that showed up in this series. 1-0 as well if you're just joining us. Big had to come back on Cobblestone versus Immortals. This was another game in which Immortals had a massive start.
Absolutely. Well, 10 now. Deficit starting to shrink. Aggressive stuff from Lagia, pushing through the smoke as well. It's going to be Tabson taken down through the smoke, through the wall. Lagia fighting back as he finds KNG as well. We know he's a good Inferno sniper. It's 4 and 4 for now. Lagia through the smoke, though, finds a headshot on Henny, and they keep the lead.
Nade toward the top of Banana. Lagia is forward enough of it that he doesn't take as much damage. He'll re-smoke himself into position. He's getting very aggressive. Jump as well. They're going to hear that. He's got to change his angle. Good damage through. Jump shot. Lagia. Slam dunk as he goes back down. He's caught out trying to reload. That brings Steel in, but Nex has gotten into a better and more tradable position. He'll easily follow it up and take out Lucas as well. 6 rounds now for Big.
Seems to be working out for them. More aggressive that time. Lagia, after the blunder in the pistol round, managing to find 2 strong frags there. Tabson got taken down through the smoke. I thought that was it. It would be done here on Inferno, but fighting back. They're not going down. Well, at least giving us a few rounds. There's the shot through the smoke, and Tabson really not having a good time there. Everything There's possibly going wrong. It's actually happening right now. Lagia, though, getting fired up again. He's still sort of believing. You don't quite find it that convincing just yet. But that was something. He's getting into it now.
Well, it's hard to do that and get me that emotionally attached and have it go against you.
Yeah.
Keeve, good start, finds Lucas. So again, they have the early advantage against the Pistols. Shots to smoke from Tapson as they will group inside of middle ball first toward apartments. And as of right now, there's not the most fortified setup toward the A site. In specific, not only that, KNG taking down Lagia is going to open up some space to thin out the defense. It's a daring thought. Tech9 could easily overwhelm the rifle from that range with speed, and not to mention the movement mechanics.
Definitely. It's Keeve, he's low HP as well towards that graveyard. Flashbang comes in, Keeve to hit first.
Keeve goes down though because he's low HP left in the open, dropping in. That's exactly what the Pistols can do. As they get over the rail and Gobby follows suit, but it's KNG that actually got his aim set first upon landing, and that means bombs planted. Immortals, all they have to do is hold off Nex and Tapson, and they'll take the map. KNG might roast alive in pit. He's forced back. Nex gets Henny. KNG gets Nex. Trade goes back. Tapson's in the open. It's all onto him, and it's one bullet! One bullet from Tapson that keeps them alive.
I thought it was done. The P250 of the apartment somehow finds 2 frags. Keeve was low, sure. But how does he find the second in the pit? They have Quater rifles, AWPs, and Tapson. He's got something left in the tank, it seems there. A lovely shot with the USB to finish things off. And we still have a game on our hands. Here's the replay. KNG, how has he done that? God be wondering what in God's name just happened to him. And it's Tapson, though. This shot especially. He jumps up on the barrel, manages to take down KNG. Double orb set up on the T side for Immortals. It's pretty out there, not a common strategy. We normally talk about one orb being questionable on the T side of Inferno. Now there's 2. I'd like to see where this is going. I guess it's like the Hail Mary play to try and finish this game off.
Flash out, Keeve ready, goes back in, wins the exchange. Don't hold your breath, Immortals. Might be holding it a while at this rate. Flames at the feet. KNG oversteps ever so slightly. Now, I don't know if anyone was close enough, to be fair. I don't think Tapson would have heard that. But he has set the AWP now from Arch side. And M4 goes back out and peeks it as well. Take it back, excuse me, it's Nex that's there. I thought it was Keeve that actually rotated over. It's not. He's still sitting toward B. And they'll go for the new box boost inside of B. So no more banana aggression.
An advantage. Keeve hits the first shot once again, but Lucas, he's striking back. Precise headshot to Gobby.
Smoke in front of the box. Nex burns Lucas. They want to wrap around still with rifles, but no time to get the plant if they can't find the openers inside of the site. Taps it down. Good play from Nex as he sits on the box. Bombs in front of him. Steal from high on the balcony, looks down upon and says that's enough. Take back the position. KNG can get the bomb. Oh, and the AWP. Ooh, hits him. Not done. He does click Steal through the wall. You can see the bullet hole. Watch a quick peek from KNG. Post plant slides in. He's gone in the site, not down toward quad. They've got to read it. They've got to find it. They've not. KNG, he could go back out directly into Lagia. Steal does it instead as he gets pulled toward them. And Immortals win map 2. The first 2 defeats big on Inferno.
It's a very good point, Matt. Winning this map 3 times in this tournament. They've looked fantastic. They've taken some huge names down, but Immortals finally break the wall. And it's going to be 16-7. I was sort of believing that with 5 rounds in a row in the CT half, but at 13-2 started losing the pistol, and that blunder in the pistol as well, the 1v1, I think that has to be noted. It's very significant. Look how well they were doing with the gun rounds. If they have the pistol in the 3-0 start, maybe that comeback is possible. And it's gutting, but it's nice to see Immortals fired up and Henny bouncing back after having the issues with the mouse and a very quiet performance on Cobblestone. We're going to Train, and I think the drama will continue to unfold.
Yeah, Train is going to be a very, very tough one to call because it is a tactical map, but tactics, oddly enough, have not been something big have brought to the table in this. And I think Immortals, like you say, there was something to counterplay them with, and it was speed. It was getting in their face. It was giving them no chance at all to set up. Which style favors on Train, I'm not sure, but Paul, over to you.
Yes, indeed. We thought they'd given up, but they came crawling back into the game. But in the end, it is Immortals that tie things up at 1-1. We're going to Game 3, our first of the day in the quarterfinals. We're back with Natu and Moses to wrap things up on this second match. And Natu, what did you make of that performance from Immortals?
I mean, look at the scoreboard. Looked pretty good, didn't it? I mean, that's how you play against an execute-heavy team. You interrupt. You're in their face a lot of the time. And when you have players like Henny getting those kind of shots, he's just being a bit of a brick wall in Banana. It makes things a lot easier for him.
Yeah, and it wasn't just that. It was also, I mean, Matt just brought it up perfectly there right at the end, is that they got in their face, and you saw like a push out of apartments from the CT side that gets 1 kill. You see the nade stack and the push down mid from the CT side at a certain point. You're seeing aggression in Banana. Henny was a menace there, hitting those shots, just keeping control of it. Big even makes the right call. If an Opper is going to play that position, more than likely he's usually alone if it's an Opper there, just because he's taken that fight so far away he can fall into the site. And they know that he has too much map control. They have to be able to force him back, so they actually send 3 players back just to force him away, and he still manages to get another kill or 2 off of it. So, I mean, that was the big thing, is the ops were so strong. Henny was great, KNG was great as well, and the defense is just too much. It should be noted as well, this is one of those halves from Tabson that he's just going to want to forget. He had 1 kill. He ends the game with 10, so looking at the stats here, you're going to think, all right, whatever, but that first half with only 1 kill, you could really, they really needed him.
Yeah, I mean, he was, I think it was 0 after 12 rounds, which, when you've got a player like that on your team, you need the kills from him.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much equals what they did as a team. It was a 7-0 game, at a point for Immortals, and they also, got big resets after winning a round after that. So, yeah, just a nightmare altogether for the first half, and they try to hit that B bounce out a lot of times. I felt like, they could have tried to steer towards a little bit more often than they did, because even when they got in, it was always like they got kind of surprised off of the transition that KNG was coming through. He would have some great timing through the smokes, and that kind of does get frustrating in the sense, because it does work for you. You do get to the bomb sites, but there's always that one guy coming in that's just wrecking your dreams.
I think that's the plan that they have, right? Is that they want to go back towards that A bomb site, but since, I mean, God knows just strategically on this map, if you cannot establish Banana control as the terror side, you're going to have a really bad time. I mean, we saw as well throughout that half the amount of times that players even pushed down Banana and had a quick flank and was able, like Henny a couple times with the AWP, once with the UMP, is able to distract, able to get some damage in behind right when they're about to take mid control. And you could tell Big just really lost control of this map and just couldn't really recover. And I think it's really interesting as well after that first map. And then coming into Inferno, Big looked really stressed. Like after Legia lost that pistol run, yes, that is
it is a slightly stressful situation.
A large blunder, but him and Tabson had a very long discussion after that in the booth, and it did not look like a happy discussion.
Yeah, no, I think this is the first time we've seen the cracks in the teamwork and in the solidity that they've got between them as a family unit, as it were. First time we've seen that kind of frustration come out, and it's interesting that Immortals kind of rose to that, didn't they? You saw them in the booth. There was plenty of flapping around. I'm quite sure what the language was, whether it was rude or not, but there was plenty of emotion coming out.
From what I saw on Twitter, it means weak. Just repeating weak.
Yeah, I think the other one I saw was it means you're trash. I think that was the other one we saw.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Both of them work. I like it.
They do.
Yeah,
it's
bust it out. Let's get frisky.
Yeah, no, that's a cool element of them facing one another, right? Yeah. you can. That's the one thing, like, you don't want to people looking at him in the eye when he's yelling at you.
The next step is to get a microphone and speakers in the other one so you can actually hear him as well. That's the next.
You can't hear the crowd. Each other.
You can just hear each other, and that's where we go from here.
I quite like that. Let's take a look at our scoreboard by Boomio and our MVP for this particular game. As well. We'll do Steel as our MVP, but before we do that, let's take a look at the scoreboard itself. Legia having a good game in terms of the statistics, but having a couple of rough rounds in that game. There's that awkward moment which he got almost knifed and then got killed anyway, and don't know how he died there, I really don't, but lost that one. But KNG topping the score sheets for Immortals again just shows you how he's having a great series.
Yeah, he's having a phenomenal series for this team, which is good to see. This is why he's brought in, right? I thought Henny as well, just in terms of the impact and what kind of a presence he has over towards that B bomb set, is a huge thing, huge performance as well. But I mean, fair play. Legia had the most kills on Big, but all of them just like there was just no impact. I mean, you only get 3 rounds on that T side, and I mean that was another thing brought up, is this is a strategic team, and the T sides have been very poor so far in the series.
There's the MVP on your screen, as we confirmed. It is Steel, 23 kills for his, 98.6 ADR on that one as well. and plenty in the other boxes to make sure he's the MVP for this particular game.
The cool thing is that you could have picked, you could have easily picked KNG up there. You could have picked anyone. Yeah, pretty much on the team, judging from the scoreline, obviously. Just an overall rounding game.
From the major qualifier, I remember Steele just basically telling us flat out, when we talk about the momentum, he was just like, essentially, whenever we win the pistol round and like the next 3 rounds, if we win that first gun round, like it's just kind of over. We just kind of win those matches. Things feel good. They start rolling, and you could tell, like the Oppers especially, like Henny is just an Opera where if he starts getting going early, then he's going to have a very, very good game.
After changing a mouse, of course,
yeah,
to a different one.
After punching his original mouse.
I have to say, Henry made a great point in the commentary, and he said, why don't pro players carry 2 lots of things? I think he's right. I mean, that seems extraordinary to me.
Open up
a footballer brings 2 sets of boots.
Can of worms.
I don't know.
Are we go in there? I don't think we should.
I mean, at this point, yeah, it's going to start happening, right? We've heard enough stories. I know even at Cologne, not this year but last year, which was a major, there was the same thing happened. It was someone had a mouse that like got broken during travel or in some transfer to the hotel.
They've been lost in the post and lost in flights and God knows what else. I've got a quick question for you before we move on to our third and final map. Have you either of you bowled before? Done a bit of bowling?
Bowling?
Yeah.
Not
great at it,
not professionally. No. I use bumpers.
That's a shame because Pala actually has been bowling along with North.
Yes, they're gonna thrive in that a little bit. It's obviously one of the big questions when they brought KNG in was how do you reconcile having Henny as your main opera and a guy who's also another stellar opera. KNG is also very proficient with the rifles though, so at times you'll see he'll be fine with the rifles, but. Obviously, having two operas is always is a nice little bonus to have it to switch into a different defense.
Especially when you've got a man in form, because KNG's been the best player in the last 2
he's been a beast, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And it also helps that Immortal likes to be very dynamic on this map as well, as we saw on Inferno too. They push Ivy, they utilize the spawns really well. If Henny has to spawn, he'll go and take that duel from upper ramp. They'll send people on Ivy, and then also they'll let on other parts of a half they'll still let your opposition to execute. But when you have their double ops, and they're pretty good at just making sure they have the manpower to go through the struggle of having to live the God B executes.
Yes. Well, I mean, apart from the God B executes, what is the critical part for Big here? What do they need to make sure they get doing early?
They need T-side rounds. I'm going to just be frank. They don't have many of them in this series so far. I think they actually only have 6, if I'm correct.
Not too many.
Right around there. But either way, even if you're not, you could see on Inferno they had that little bit of a struggle early on in their TF where they kept buying into it and kept trying to keep the economy low because they'd gotten so many kills that they felt they always had the economy at the breaking point. I don't know if you're going to want to challenge it as much on Train in that situation early on, but you do want to keep your opponent's economy low, especially for a team that likes the AWPs. That's a big win early on if they can either get the pistol round or just get those 3 to 4 kills every single round. Make sure if they're going to keep investing in ops that Immortals is always going to be on a breaking point with their economy, because on a map like Train, all you need is one economy break and you can get up towards 4 or 5 rounds. So then after that, it's like you've already put together a pretty decent half, all things considered.
Yeah, on the contrary, on the city side, Big really needs to be ready to have some duels, because Immortals might be a team where they'll spend like a minute just kind of waiting to get an opening from T-main, and eventually they'll end up going in there 1-3, 1 setup, 1 IV, 3 mid, and 1 pop. Not even like executing any smokes necessarily. And they'll throw a Molotov to the bomb side, they'll throw 1 flash, and they'll get on top of 6 train that'll push you towards quad, then the bomb train, and try to like sandwich you on that bomb side. So that's where you need to be ready when you're big. Just take the early duels and then not try to have the man advantage.
They also need Tapson.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that boy, because he was the highest rated player left in the tournament on HLTV. And we haven't really seen him so far, and that's odd, because you do usually, like, he's been renowned over the last couple of months of just showing up every game. This
is one of the rare occurrences where we see him have an off game. That was also one of the big promises around him, was that like he was always delivering that kind of star level performance. He was pretty consistent in it, and he's gotten lucky. It would be much worse, obviously, if they had lost that first map, but because if Legia is the one that stepped up in his absence, which doesn't happen frequently because it wasn't any of the other guys either. So he's gotten very fortunate that his bad performance is being overshadowed by how good that Legia has been in this series. But they absolutely need him on this third map. This is where that player that you have, that you've relied on to get here, that's when he carries you through this stretch. You guys have brought him this far. It's his job to pull you over the line.
You've both had moments in your careers where you've had a rough start to a series. Maybe the first map didn't go so well, and then that's playing in your head in the second game, and your team scrapes through, and it's 1-1. You go into how do you reset? How do you get out of the mindset of God, I'm having a terrible series, to focusing on it's one map, I've got to focus on it?
At least for me, it was always pretty easy to isolate the maps into, their own entities. But in the end of the day, it didn't really matter if I had a rough map. Then you go into the next one, not thinking about it. Obviously, it helps if you have a great start. That's a good thing. If you have, let's say you have a couple of kills in the pistol round, get some cheeky anti-eco frags. It always pumps your confidence and gives you that extra little bit.
The important thing to remember is that one of the beautiful parts about this game, and one of the reasons we love it, is that there's so many different ways to have impact and help your team win a match, even if you're not putting up the big numbers. Even if you're not having the highlight plays, it's winning, the one clutch you're put into. It's getting that one kill that opens up the bomb site, and I think that's what you focus on if you have a bad start to a match or even a series, is you just say, there's going to be an opportunity during this game for me to turn the tides of a round, and I need to make sure that I'm stepping up, and even if it's just the one kill, even if it's just the second kill, even if it's just trading, I need to make sure I'm ready to do that.
Yeah. We've had 4 knife kills in this match so far.
It's not bad,
which is a record at a major.
I was going to say.
Any more BM going to come out in the second?
Absolutely. I hope so. I mean, so.
This has become pretty personal by now.
It has got. I was going to ask you about, because it does feel a little bit personal. There was a knife kill on that second map. Immortal's kind of good. It was a bit like, almost screw you.
It
Like, we could do the
gets-
same thing,
It
right?
always gets personal when the knives come out,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
But it feels
It
bad
definitely
when you
does.
get knifed in the game, so it's kind of like
Especially on a
swine.
stage, especially at the major.
It's embarrassing.
Oh yeah, there's
And
a whole lot.
insult right there.
Yeah.
I'd even be happy with having K&G just open up the door to the booth, walk over to the other side of the stage, just get right up in there. I'm fine
Give
with that
him
as
the
well.
finger in the other
But
booth.
yeah, let's step things up a little
Listen,
bit.
Okay,
at
wow.
the end of the day, the one way to ridicule your opponent is just crush them on this map. That's the one thing that really matters. It's the semifinals you're playing for, so in the big picture.
Do you feel like Immortals had, paraphrasing here, but the knife to the throat in that last game, 15-2, should have shut the door and said 16-2, done and dusted. You guys have been sat. Just letting them come back in it a little bit more. Do you feel like maybe they let something go there, or do you feel like they will just carry the momentum into train?
It is just the way it is. It's human nature, really. I mean, you're so close to winning it. You've had a pretty easy way through that map. It kind of take the gas pedal off for a little bit, right? And that easily happens. On the contrary, for big, I think it's even better just to get stomped in the map instead of if they would have really made it back to like say 16 or 13-16, it's got like kind of a scoreline. That's a bit of a bummer, isn't it?
So exactly what we saw in Cobble, right? If they dropped the ball at the end of that comeback.
Yeah. So yeah, it could have been really really rough for them. So I think that's just for both sides doesn't really matter.
Were you the style of players that when you were down like that, when you were 15-2, 15-1, whatever it was? Were you just like in your mind? Were you just like, oh God, okay, let's just get this map over with. Just forget it now. Just put it out of our mind. Because Big never seemed to be that kind of team. They've been down a few times. I've noticed on line matches and previously in the qualifiers, and they'd never give up.
It is a very weird thing because I think pretty much every player and former player and analyst will always mention it's harder to bounce back from the close losses, especially if you have to make some kind of a comeback. But as a player, you don't think of that. Like if you're down like 13-2 at half, it's not like, all right guys, let's just phone in the pistol round.
Yeah.
Get on to the next one. And you never think like that. You're always thinking comeback. But I mean, it is just something you always notice after the fact. But as a player, especially in a major and a stage, you don't give up a single round.
Yeah,
ever.
I mean, because it is very mental, isn't it? You're sort of thinking, but if they can do 13-2, then we can do 13-2. We're no worse than them.
Yeah, especially with the way the economy works. I mean, it's a little bit more brutal, I feel, in this game than it was even in previous versions of Counter-Strike in some ways, where you're so reliant on it that one economy break at the right moment and you can be right back in the game. It's amazing how quick the score lines can come together, especially with the power of pistols, being able to win an eco round. Like every round is doable now.
Yeah.
You can win every single one.
Yeah.
So there's definitely got to be that mentality of don't give up.
Yeah, and the Pistols have been critical throughout many of the matches at the Major so far.
Yeah, I mean, if we go down the memory lane, remember the Tech 9 Major?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone
The
wants
Tech
to
9
do
Major, I
that.
like that. I don't think anyone's called that.
Yeah, I mean, all of Meister.
Did we have the CZ minor as well at one point?
We did. Yeah. We've had some pistol minor, pistol majors down it. But yeah, they do. I kind of like that dynamic in the game, though. It keeps you on your toes. Make sure it's kind of another layer from a tactical perspective where you have to respect the pistols. In my opinion.
Well, and we saw even on Cobble, like one more way for the tacticians and the strategic and game leaders like Gambit to find ways to help their team, win the match, win rounds. That second round that he had, that tactic that he busted out on Cobble was so very cool. And it's a great thing to be able to win some of those rounds, especially if you are using the tactics, because then it just gives you a higher chance. It's not just get a 1D, get a headshot somewhere, and then you just kind of win that round. This is like you actually have a systematic thought process that helps you win it. So yeah.
I think probably the most creative one we've seen so far is double AWP 3 pistols.
That was quite cool. I enjoyed that very much.
Yeah,
were you on board with that?
No.
I mean, because you look at it, you just go, what a waste of
Not
money.
everything needs to make sense. Remember, logic doesn't apply to anything anymore.
I mean, I would have.
Do you hate facts?
If it works, fair play, and obviously you can make that kind of a buy work. I probably would have, as an in-game leader, would have never looked at my money and been like, let's do this. This is the one. Unless it's like literally like you absolutely have to make something
the only
happen.
thing you got left in the bag, yeah. All right, thanks, gents. We are ready for game number 3, so let's head back to our commentators, Sadakist and Henry G.
Thank you very much. Yes, a little quiet, a little more private out here, a little more intimate with this game as we're going to get into map number 3. Big Immortals, and Immortals, I have to say, have been the more complete team throughout the course of the series.
I think so.
Overtime on Cobblestone was a comeback from Big, but they have lacked on their T. Both teams have, but specifically to mention it with Big, they have lacked on their T sides, which is something they've been incredible at throughout the course of the event until now.
Yeah, this is looking slightly worrisome, if I have to say, for Big now. Going into this map pool, the first 2 maps I said, yeah, Big can do this 2-0, absolutely. With Cobblestone and Inferno there, I think they're going to do it. But now we go on to Train. This double AWP setup of Immortals coming through, and Henny finding some form as well. KNG looking the way he does, I feel like they get this. They start on CT side as well, I believe. So going into this one, if they get rolling here, they get that pistol once again, get the 3-0, and manage to get the double orbs out nice and early. I feel like Big are going to struggle here. The T sides especially have been uninspired. It looks like they've maybe some sort of mind games going on. They feel like they know. The Immortals seem to know what they're doing and how to shut it down. Is that the problem for them? They can't really get into this one. Haven't really seen much in terms of the clutches either. It's all just been a one-sided affair. Did very good on the CT half, but that 13-2 first and Inferno, like it's difficult to bounce back from that, especially that pistol blunder.
Yeah, that is the thing. There was a real chance that they could have bounced back. Yeah, that was mandatory, and they failed to achieve it. We're going to get underway on Train. Immortals starting CT side, Big starting T. They've started T in all 3 maps. They chose to do so on Cobblestone. Obviously, therefore, Immortals chose to start CT on Inferno. This one, I believe, was knifed. Either way, it's TTT for Big, which has been all of their issues.
Well, 3 sets of armor coming in, Molotovs and smokes as well. Most teams favour the inside area. We'll see if that rings true here in the 3rd and final map. Whoever wins this one is indeed going to the semi-finals. That sadly does go home.
I've never seen so many decoys spread out so vastly across the map.
That's true, there's 4 of them out there.
There's more than that. There was, I think, 6 at one point. 2 below Heaven, 1 at E-Box, 1 at the backtracks, and 1 at B. I guess that's 5. But who's counting?
I don't know.
Were you counting?
You are.
Okay. I don't know how to count. Tabson, meanwhile, wants to go in toward upper. Henny is just below on the ladder. Over the ladder, if you will. At the spools. The spools. By which he goes undetected. He's able to pop out. Take down 2, including the bomb. Tabson gets the shot to bolts, but KNG responds. Immortals looking to start off this map just like they did the last 2. The early pistol win. Kiev will do what he can against Tor, wrapping in, shot down. Henny gets the kill, gets the win for Immortals, and without the crowd here, they don't care. They're still going to get aggressive as he yells across the booths.
Yeah, the mind games have been real. It's been really exciting for me to actually see that. Being able to see your opponents, to stand up and like watch them try and avoid eye contact with you when you're celebrating like that can be quite a satisfying thing to do. Immortals definitely getting stuck in. It's nice to see it. It reminds me of my playing days, and he didn't have any boosts, so they just literally sat opposite each other. And that's what Counter-Strike's really about. I actually think it's a nice addition. Number 2. And Deagles, full slight head generally from Big. 80-50s Deagles. 1 smoke, flashbang. Bomb in the previous round. Immortals completely ran away with that one. Looking like a better unit overall. I have to agree with you on that one. And Keith gets set shot through the corner of the wall there. That was a top dog. He'll be trying to bounce back though. See if he can get the 1 dig. Apparently cannot steal a box. Chime in first for the first 2 frags.
By the way, Big losing on the last map means Gambit is the only remaining undefeated team in the event. No team has ever won a major undefeated.
Yes, that's true.
In any case, Virtus Pro denied SK doing so on 2 separate occasions, both in Columbus and at the E-League Major. Tabson, meanwhile, with bomb, last alive in this particular round for Big. Not really any chance they had with the pistols. He does have armor at a Deagle, but they've got guns plenty, and the guns will find the kills. Henny gets his 4th kill overall, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even 5th at this point.
Looking very comfortable there. No plan once again, I have to say. It's 2-0, and that double orb setup ever looming. You feel like Immortals are the favourites going into this one, especially with the form Henny was showing on Inferno. M4A4s, some SMGs as well, steal the FAMAS. Not really much they can do about a situation. Let's upgrade a few more of those pistols. Certainly can't force into the round. Objective purely to try and get that bomb down. It's very unlikely Kiev can do anything with that Deagle. It's interesting he buys that, considering it's the AWP as well. That's $700 for that pistol, and it's not exactly going to win you a round. He invests in it, limits himself. We're going to number 3 here. Unless he finds a kill, he cannot buy the AWP. Just to note that.
Already pushing toward upper. 2 quick kills on the SMG, but we've got number 5. Tabson sneaks in behind him after jumping around the stairs and walks in behind. It's KNG that gets the response on Kiev. So it's at 4 versus 2, but add it to the total, the tally.
5 knife rounds in a series. I've never heard anything like it. Madness.
Who brings a gun to a knife fight?
Well, exactly. Only 1 frag. That's with the knife, apparently. We did say Kiev had to find a frag to get the AWP. That did not happen. The bomb did not go down either. But Tabson, with the knife kill, $1,500, he can now drop the AWP. That's an option. So that actually helped them out quite tremendously, I have to say. And he can drop an AWP. and buy himself armor. He dropped an AK-47. Doesn't opt for it though. 4 AK-47s. The gear down to the UMP. It's Tabson who completely dropped off in Inferno map. He's supposed to be the superstar of this team, one of the upcoming talents we have. In terms of mechanical skill, he's up there at the very best and just completely disappeared on Inferno, but he can arrive now. There's still plenty of time. Going to the first gun round here. The orbs on the back of Henny, looking towards lower ramp right now. He's basing bolts towards upper as well. We know bigger a tactical team and love the executes, but haven't been winning any clutches. The bombs be going down, just can't convert those into victories.
Henny and Bolts, perfect position in the crossfire, and Henny not at the corner. It's down below the ramp. Boost Steel all the way on top of the train. That will be a perfect position to deny plants inside of smoke. Not that there is any down just yet. There are 3 available for Big. So they could go for a smoke execution. A little bit more difficult to get as aggressive as they did on Inferno to get in their face on this map. So rather than doing so, they anticipate what the play will be and position accordingly.
Time ticking away. Still with 4 smokes and Molotovs aplenty. Final commitment comes in. That bomb needs to go down. If it does not, they're going to struggle here. Must have been a misthrown smoke as the final commitment comes in. It's still in a perfect position here.
And they go. He's still there. He's still on high. He can't move too soon because they'll search him in turn, which Next does. So he does not deny the plants straight away as KNG goes back in from the back tracks. He might get caught by Henny, who misses a clean and wide open shot that gives Tabson the kill on the KNG. Lucas turns to try and make up for his brother's amends, but it's all of a sudden Kiev that gets the kill onto him, and round over. Immortal back off. We go 3-1 Big in the first gun round, able to pick it up quite cleanly. I shouldn't say too cleanly. They're 5 alive, but only just.
Yeah, still in that perfect position. When you get flashed 3 times and you're stood in the open, sure, it's a nice place to be, but I felt like when the 3rd flash comes through, you might have outstayed your welcome. And if he just dropped down and held on the bomb site, potentially had a chance to get a kill. I had 0 chances. The amount of time he's getting flashed there, so it looked like a very nice idea, but nice execution generally from Big. Very slow. We did see that being a problem on Cobblestone, especially. That slow-paced gameplay. As soon as they went for the final commitment, as that bomb dropped, they just couldn't get the plant in. This time, though, they managed to negate that possibility. We're going to round number 5. Double orb setups out, Matt. This is where things get interesting. KNG, one of the best performances I've seen from him on Cobblestone. 12-3 in the first half. 28 kills to finish things off, but can he find that form once again on Train? Key for the AWP as well. And now we're really getting into it. Big round here.
Smokes in front of E-Box and at Sandwich. Steel won't be able to do much with it. Bolts again goes to the high ground with Henny low, so they haven't been able to get him to the corner quick enough on the AWP. KNG's AWP is very aggressive, I will say. However, Kiev was at the ready with his in return. He's gotten down Pop Dog. Steel is in a perfect position to take advantage of utility with the flashes. Brilliantly timed. He goes back up to be able to push around behind him, and Sandwich in fact runs through the flames. Still manages to get a kill. He may get more than that as he swaps to the AK. No reload required. Time in his favor as a result of it, but they're still searching. They're still trying to go above. He spotted Gambit going up. Gambit still shoots down. It's just Henny remaining.
Great attempt there by Steel, but only gets 1 kill in total. It's up to Henny now. 3 versus 1 situation. The bomb goes down. Can find this first kill. Almost guaranteed it. Sees the barrel. Misses the shot somehow.
Wow.
Bit of an anti-climax, but certainly had the chance for enough. I think he thought he was guaranteed. It was a lock-in. He just looks away. I thought it was.
Straight under his armpit, I guess.
Must have been.
Might be the sweatiest armpits next to mine after that.
I'm not sure that's possible, but yes. It's getting there. Yours is something else.
Thank you.
You still smell lovely, though.
That's
just
a lie.
so you know. No.
I never smell lovely.
3-2. It could have to be an eco over Immortals now. 2 rounds in a row with the big side. Looking like they're getting more comfortable. They've been struggling on these T sides. And then some. P250s and no armor, apart from bolts, that's hell a lie. as he has a Deagle and the Kevlar.
And he jumps over to blue. Wants to get closer on the P250. Finally, they go over toward B. Bolts push back. Everyone in the brown halls, with the acceptance of Kiev, waits for a flank and then joins in. Threw a Molotov down, if I'm not mistaken, but either way, would be they go. Flash through, taps and goes wide. He's going to go long down the sidewalk. So too, in fact, Gambit is still on the site, and no one challenging will eventually get taken down. Good shot through smoke by Lucky Luke. But Next says no. As he walks back in, he's able to swing around from yellow to the tanker and catch Steel, pushing. Any flank attempts thwarted. Low HP for Kiev and Gambit. Round goes to big. We tie things up at 3, and T-side's looking better on this map.
Yeah, 3 in a row after losing the pistol as well. They're also starting to bounce back, it seems. The T-sides has been pretty horrendous with the big side, but now they're actually getting plenty of money to work with. Kiev, the AWP, this is great news. Got $9,000. And the double AWP setup hasn't been that deadly, I have to say. I thought that was going to be the downfall of Big going into training against Immortals and on the CT side as well, but KNG hasn't really delivered anything too special. Same story for Henny. They're both on 4 frags apiece, and the gun rounds looking quite nice. I guess if you think about it, Train is a map that certainly suits Big. You don't need that much in terms of map control. You're just pushing the cities back as much as you can, denying information, going for a full execution. That's what they're very good at. And we go towards Pop Dog once again. It's Kiev trying to open things up. Henny's on the other side. Needs to be very careful with his commitment here.
There's many rounds already in a T-side that Big has achieved in any opening half. They only got 5 over their 30 T-sided attempts previously, just including the overtime, obviously, in the first game. Window there for Tapson to look through with the smoke down. He's trying to get boosted above it to see at least toward the trains. The tops of them, in fact. Steals close to the smoke. As it fades, he sprays in. That gives Gambit the position, or at least the awareness of where it is. And sprays back with the AKK&G. Meanwhile, top blue could try and push wide and get a similar peek toward Pop Dog, but he's worried, in fact, that he will get countered off from a main, which is the right thought. He's not wrong in assuming, and he finds Kiev. Now he'll swing, but that pulls the attention back. He still made it work. He made it all 3. Just barely gets taken down by Next. Bomb was planted, but for once in the post-plant, Immortals have the advantage, and Bulls is adding to it by taking down the 2 remaining Big players.
Bit of a brawl around there, but the bomb does get planted for Big. The execution was decent, but it's up to KNG, who's scrapping on the front lines with his teammate Bolts as well. It's Henny who gets 1 key frag, buys some time there, and they keep 3 players alive and upgrade once again to that double AWP setup. They take the lead, it's 4-3. Big with a solid game plan here, and this was similar scenes to what we saw in Inferno. The bomb going down plenty of times, and then the clutches, the big names of Immortals stepping up. But Big is having a better half this time, 3 in a row. They're going to reset them and everything. They still have money, even if they lost this round, to reinvest. Next isn't looking too happy.
Neither was Kakafua. Kakafui? I never say his name right.
I'm not going to attempt it. I just say the coach.
The coach.
Yeah.
A couple of fists thrown. They know how much it means to them to get economic control. Something they've not had on a T-side. Kiev will certainly start by helping in this round, taking down KNG. Henny still has his op, meanwhile. And it's MG connector, so closer to the A site this time. But they can slow the pace Big because they've controlled it early.
I like that from Kiev. Great shot to open things up. Nothing the CTs can do now but sit and wait. Train's a difficult map to reclaim and map control. Your options, push towards main entrance with a flashbang, but very passive ult from Big. They're waiting for that to come in. They're welcoming it. They want you to try and react and try and get a kill as they hold up. Still in T-spawn 2 players. The gear investigating towards inside. CT's not really changing too much up. It's Bolt who's alone inside, just holding the incendiary, trying to get intel for his team. He doesn't want to fully commit, wants to try and delay the plant as long as possible. Outside execution will come in momentarily. Could go back to the inner if they wanted to from Pop Dog.
Gambit's got to get out. Somehow one of the ticks didn't hit. He must have had a small gap he found. At least the sound wasn't made. I didn't catch it. The damage was consistent. Certainly seems to not apply as he goes out and Steel finds him anyway. Bombs attempted to be planted inside of the smoke. I think it will be, and he's actually got the angle wrong. He's not quite in the back of the train where he expected, but Bolts As the kill immediately after onto Tapson, which again puts them in a favorable post plant. Look at Legia. This could be massive for Legia. He's got to start walking exactly, I was about to say, about now, because they could still hear him from Zeke and Hector. Yeah. All his teammates have to do is contain. Contain is the name of the game, because Legia is going to walk in and take, well, his time. They're already on the defuse, though, so he's got to go now. Find one, looks toward the edge, sprays it down. They're still on the defuse. They've got to get off it. Oh, they let it go. 5 seconds. It was close. Legia's got a knife, but he's high. He's high, and he's not going to find it. Immortals get the defuse to find round 5.
How has that happened? Oh, Legia, it seemed like he'd done everything perfectly there. You spotted it. The flank was on point. The timing was perfect. He gets in connector, finds 2 frags, but the full defuse eludes him. Oh, dear. And that's similar to scenes we saw earlier in this series as well. Everything's perfect up until that point. It's looking so good. The plant's down. Equal situation. Legia's coming in. And he was looking for the 6th knife of this series. Doesn't happen, though. Can't find it. Full defuse comes in.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, he's so close. So close and can't get the defuse.
Oh. Okay, not as upset as I thought.
Every round is starting to matter so much for Big. First time both of these teams have been legends. They both want, obviously, into the semifinal, but it's Immortals leading 5-3, map 3. Tapson this time, by the way, sits 4-7, so not anything miraculous, but he's in the mix.
We shall see. It was a decent round for Immortal, but 2 close ones means they do go down to a Bolts UMP here. He plays the anchor site towards B. Henny backing him up there, very common position for the Orpus towards the upper ramp at the Brown Halls. So Molotov'd off, tries to stick around for any sort of commitment from the T side, but just takes quite a lot of damage there. He goes back. Terrorist side now setting up once again. They're focusing primarily towards outside. I don't think they've been towards in at all, apart from that flank from Legia. Just trying to get that bomb down time and time again, which is working perfectly. Immortals having a rough time defending the execution. KNG, though, he has been battling with the M4A4. Steel to go down first. Gambit opens things up once again.
And he's still in it for Big. Got the lead. KNG's trying to stay on the ladder. Ooh, it makes it work as well with movement to avoid the flames as he jumps backwards. He catches off next, but thankfully for him, Gambit is immediately on the scene. Bomb still planted. And with the AWP, watches toward it from the old bomb alley. Round looks to go to Big. And money's tight. It's dire on both sides. So that's going to be a save call immediately from Immortals. And I see... Oh, it's only on my screen, so maybe I'm glitched. I thought I saw a timeout call coming in for the next round, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if that's true or not. I hold my tongue.
I don't think it's been called.
Okay, so I'm glitched.
A little bit.
Yeah, let's not go into my personal life too much.
4-2 now. It's going to be Immortals with the AWP. Bomb indeed will go off, and he doing what he can to hold on to it, but he's being hunted down by Bonds. He's there to protect his brother, and will do what he can. Yeah. Oh, and Tapson chimes in. The AWP does get dropped. Okay, then. It's pretty harsh reset for the CT side. 5-4, Big. Managed to go outside once again. A slow, methodical playstyle. That's it. I really do think it suits them as a team, this map. I feel like it should work out, right? They love smoke grenades, the Molotovs, the flashbangs working as a unit, and it's got B to find the first few frags here as well. He really has shown some decent form in the last month or so. See if we continue it here. Almost a guaranteed round for Big. I said that was bated breath. Nothing really is guaranteed in this game. As the ammos we're talking about, the pistols, a bit of a nuisance sometimes, but this time Kiev towards the main entrance. Pins heading to the wall, 5-on-4, just like that.
Shot to start it off. Oh, it's in the boost yet to look back toward the Ivy position. Ivy, by the way, I was about to say, hasn't been as much of a factor in this game as what we normally see on Train. Lucas has even pushed it this round undetected. It's not been a point of contention. It seems like a lot of the early rounds, when we are casting Train, when we're observing it, it's 10, 15 seconds of Ivy control.
No, absolutely, you're right. This is just Big, just saying, do the same tactic over and over again. His outside execution's working for them. Bleed out the CT utility at the very start, hold up, show a little bit of presence towards inside so the AWP can't be established in Brown Halls. Once he's gone, back to the outside setup, deploy the smokes. Managing to find opening kills. Players like Gambit, once the bomb's planted, they're operating very efficiently. This round, nothing to be excited about. It's up against just pistols here. It was Kiev, very good spawn. Went towards main entrance and took down the first player crossing over to pop those. He's all 5 alive. That's great news. After that,
Keev's only got 4 kills, but he has got $12,000. He has got that working in his favor. Strat number 11 now. We're all tied up once again. 5-5. This time, much better, I have to say, for Big. T-sides have been poor, and it has to be another eco for Immortals. Finding himself in financial ruin, it seems. HE grenades being purchased, very common strategy on a CD-sided train. You throw those HE grenades towards main entrance. Bit of an airstrike, especially in players like Keeve, trying to get that first pick. Trying to take him out of the equation very early on. If you get the orb and somehow recover it, that could be something quite interesting. It's Steel and Curry to go through their grenades. They do go in, but nothing really inflicted at all. There it is, a bit of damage to happen.
Keeve walks back through, gets the AWP low pop dog. He's been entering from that position on a few occasions. It's not often you'll see an AWP take that angle. It's aggressive, it's tight, it's narrow. It's a hard choke point to work from, but he's made it work. He's gotten the pick, and Nexon taps and capitalize. It's just pistols for Immortals, and as such, there's not really much they're going to be able to do. Big's going to take a lead 6-5. Weird to say this, considering how the group stages went, but the first lead they're going to have on a T-side this whole series. At least once we're into the established money, because of course the first map they did win the eco and get a 3-1, but look, let's not get technical, Henry.
Okay. We try and avoid being technically honest.
Exactly.
Keep it light.
It's overrated.
Yeah. Well, another eco, nothing really to report back to you in terms of the analysis side of things. But we do get money once again for Immortals into the next round. Gambit finds the final frag, 5 players alive. I guess that is quite a big note. Keeves just hit $16,000, or just shy of it. That's the most you can have in Counter-Strike for anyone. Maybe a new viewer. That's where you want to be, ideally. Keeve, with the most money he possibly can get. Buys a few more grenades, takes himself down to 15k. Henny buys the orb once again. We haven't had many pauses here. I think this is the first one. It is indeed.
First for Immortals, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Big has not used one yet either, so.
No, I don't think they have.
I say if this goes to overtime, I'm going to call it now. We have to play with knives only.
Yeah, why not? They seem very well versed with the knife. So maybe Zeus's?
I knew you were going to say it. It's weird.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, we haven't had a taser kill.
We have. I don't think this major. I don't think we've had a taser kill. Hate to see that.
The whole major. Wow. Yeah. Usually you get at least one cheeky one in there.
Yeah. Please buff.
Please don't. Please don't. Yeah, let's make the range like, 40 feet.
Yeah.
But it doesn't kill you. It just locks you in position while you flail on the ground. And then
That's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah.
I like it.
Valve's here, Henry.
6-5. Double orb setup going out once again. There is a diffuse kit available, but lack of utility. These orbs, I was excited about it, wasn't I? But it hasn't really delivered so far. It will be KNG getting the majority of frags from the M4A4. Henny, another quiet game, 5-7 for him. And number 12, Big with the lead, looking to extend that, but this time maybe focusing towards inside. This is a different setup. Holding towards the lower round, that's Bolt. He's pushing through aggressively, needs to be very careful here. Bullets flying around, and Tapson takes him down. That might be the commitment. If you know how Immortals play, you know they're usually anchoring one player towards that side of the map. That was indeed the case, but Henny, he rotates in before any sort of commitment comes through. Big aren't the sort of team to commit of one kill. Immortals certainly are. They love that. They get one kill, they'll be going 5-man unit rushing through. Big like to have the mind games in place and wait for the reactions and see if there's any utility, get another read, go for full execution still. Two very different approaches when it comes to Counter-Strike. But for now, it's working very nicely for Big after going 0-3 down. And 6 gun rounds here. So 35 seconds remaining. I think the inside player for the first time is coming in.
Sean Henny to finally gee up, but they go. Henny with the rotation, remember, brings it even, and KNG, the second AWP, also in the sight. It's all ops. As Keeve tops onto KNG, it's all next to try and get it followed up. Bomb plant to come in. Tabson's got himself in a very good position as they work through the smoke, or does he? Because Lucas spots him first, and he makes the follow-up play. It's down to Keeve to hold it off, 1 versus 2. And around where Immortals lost the first pick and the sight. No kits or armor. I take back, sorry, there is armor, but no kits on the Immortals players. Part of my screen cut it off, but Keeve's got to be very careful. Time is a factor, but they're getting so close. He's on the AWP as well. Realizes it late that they're close. Good shot, but not fast enough. And ample opportunity for Steel to get the defuse.
Nice play from Immortals, quite calm. Like we said, time ticking away with no kit there. That'll be a very comfortable defuse, sticking together. But no Keeves the AWP right. As soon as he fires a bullet, that's when you punish him. Silent up until the bomb site itself. They got very close, and Keeve knew that was a possibility. He's like, hang on, this isn't right. Why is there no sound? Why are they not coming for me? Checks it out, hits the no-scope. But that's all he can do. Impossible to get the second frag. Decent attempt. They took 4 players down. Or I should say, Big Side did. And they'll keep Immortals modest here, and even more so. Have a look at this buy. They've lost that double AWP potential. It's now down to double UMPs. Not as tantalizing. A couple of M4s in the mix as well. KNG this time the AWP. We were saying that he needs to be the main AWP. In current form, you need to swallow your pride a little bit to say, look, you're playing better than me right now. Let's see what we've got. They'll be playing towards outside, and big no, they win this round. This could be a landslide half, 9-6. On the T side of train would be fantastic for them. They have no money left Immortals to work with. This is huge.
And Gambit down to pop together. Please move next, Gambit. Get out of my way.
It's all very quiet here. This is outside play once again. The first time you've seen him go in, it was the previous round. Didn't work for him. It's probably going to say, you know what? It's not for us. Stick to outside bomb side. That's where the real teams get the rounds won.
It is very quiet here, Henry. You're right.
Yeah, I meant more on the server.
I knew what you meant.
But it is quiet here. It's nice. It's relaxing.
I always wanted a big room this big just to sit in silence.
You've stopped sweating.
It's true. It was all the body heat. We've solved it. That's why, actually, they were removed. It was by request of me. Flash getting ready to go through smoke. And he's gotten up reverse side of the box on entry, which is actually a good position with the smoke down, but he has to be cautious of A main. Steel's going to have to relay that information. That's why it's a good position. And he backs off, finds 2, but Steel follows. He can't complete the same task, I should say. Lucas with a good shot in return. However, they've got to be careful because they've lost another man going to the site. Next is found. And KNG's AWP does a fantastic shot. Good work. And you said 9-6 could be possible. Well, Immortals have taken back the lead and avoided the reset.
Yeah, that's a much-needed round for them. On the CT side of train especially, that would have been a full reset in terms of you'd have to normally double eco, but the closing sector the first half, you have to force around it, almost guaranteeing the big 9-6, but shutting it down there.
It's bizarre as well to see a team be up around 16K and not leading the half by a big amount.
Yeah, you're right.
It's 7-6 for Immortals, and all it has to do with is the fact that there was 2 very close rounds on defuses in a slew of 3 rounds, then the 2 defuses, and then another 3 that they were so efficient in.
Yeah, big has certainly been controlling the economy. You have to remember as well, Immortals have got that 3-0 start. Doesn't necessarily carry on to the mid stages of the half. Tactical timeout now for Big, a chance for the coach to chime in. Gambit to consider his options. Defaults have been great, but it seems like Immortals now playing in front of the smokes and challenging a little bit more actively now. KNG, like we said, seems to be on the main AWP responsibility at this point. Kenny has a secondary AWP, but it hasn't been as exciting as I thought it would. Or maybe I built it up too much. I thought it was going to be amazing performances and 6 shots left, right, and center, and shutting everyone down. But simply this slow, methodical playstyle from Big. All the smoke use has left them a little bit vulnerable. We're pushing towards Ivy this time. The first real CT aggression coming in, but it's up to Henny to play in front of the fire up a ramp as well. Sticking around, hoping to get something done here.
Molotov again towards Sandwich. Commonly Molotov spot multiple in the entire map as there's enough of a sliver gap beside it for Tatsu to push through, but Bolts is able to control. Maybe go 9-6 the other way if we're not careful. Yeah, good response. Again, continues to be a force to be reckoned with in this whole entire series. He sits 11-7, highest on the team again. Bomb planted as KNG is going to rotate around to find a better angle. There's no availability of sight from Old Bomb due to the smokes. Good read from Keeve. Great shot up close to catch Lucas on the flank.
3-on-2 now, Keeve. Nice shot after KNG and Henny. This double AWP setup on the retake, it's not ideal, I'll tell you that for nothing. But KNG, he does find an AK-47 on the floor. He's already legged up next. Finds the kill, converts it quite nicely. Terrorist without any utility, but Keeve doesn't care. Second frag of the round, up to Henny with no kip. He surely can't do this. Time ticking away, has to be defusing now. It's not going to happen. And that's money in the bin once again for Immortals. Rough time here, he will save the AWP, but Keeve stepping up. They get here with 2 frags as well, just to note that the CTs just didn't have the kits to work with. Might not survive this. Lex Keeve dancing around and getting towards the pop dog. He will just about survive, but he can't drop anything. His teammates desperate for cash as well. Lucas down to $4,000. Looking to win the half is Big and booked himself a place in the semi-finals. Wasn't looking too great at the start, but they've pulled it back.
The gear with some nice shots there. It's quite crispy from him.
Crispy.
Yeah, gets the double frag.
He's been looking very, very good, I have to say, in a big game.
Don't punch anything.
Lucas,
Please.
now.
Already had that.
One mouse between the two of you. That's all that there is left.
Yeah.
Don't relive your childhood together. Sharing is caring. AWP though for the Henny, there's his new name, carried over, and the force, subsequent force around it. Slow play from Big again to start it off. Minute 20 as they start to establish a little bit of control using flashes through the window toward the outer site. Down toward B, Gob, named after it, will go. Next, quick shot toward backtracks, wrap around potential to a B hit. It looks to be the case. Tapson's one against Lucas. 3 players coming for the wrap. Not on the entry. Normally you see less players on the wrap itself, but they have to win it against Henny. And the AWP that's saved and carried over has done a massive amount of work because Gompy's going aggressive for the fight, not going for the plant. He's stuck in the open, and they work. Henny completely thwarts the chance for the wrap.
So both times they try to go inside, it gets shut down there. It's the AWP. This is the backtrack split.
Backbeat orders on the street that the fire in your heart is out.
Yeah, that's good. Bit of Oasis. No problem there. I like that. Anyway, what was I saying?
I don't know.
Backtracks on towards the inside bomb side there. Yeah, that's normally a really important tactic, and not one I don't think we see too much. I'd like to see it coming a lot more, but it was well read by the Immortals guys. All shots close range in CT spawn. Henny shuts them down. So yeah, that's to note. Both chances to go towards that inner bomb side shut down. Big having a lot of success towards outer, but ultimately losing the half here. And we'll get into the second half pistol buy. Both teams going to be okay with that half. Nothing too crazy, but they'll be fine with it. Immortals with 1 smoke, a couple of flashbangs, actually 1 flashbang and a decoy. Pretty similar story for Big. It's Legia with the kid and flashbangs, and we'll see where they decide to go. A lot of teams do favour towards that inside side, but KNG's getting aggressive, so is Lucas. They find the first 2 kills. Keep chimes in though.
Legia needs to step up and be well positioned. If Immortals pick up a second pistol, it's all pressure on the German side, as they'll get inches closer to a semi-final. Keeps going back toward hell position. Legia is still inside of Z. Bomb's not committed. Lucas is the one to hold it. Tapson will have no chance to flank because they're watching Pop Dog. Bolts winning on Kiev means Tapson has to get to the site now. He has a kit but no armor, and he's being, well, chased down effectively as well. It's all onto Tapson. Looks for the second drop. Bomb drop. He's stuck in the open. He's got the third, but he didn't have the time. A step further, and he may have been able to find Bolts as well.
He's been pretty absent the last couple of maps, but Tapson there with some signs of greatness. That could have been phenomenal. If he pulls that round off, yeah, the Big probably fired up enough to actually just take the game at that point. That would have been so sick. It looked like a very easy round for Immortals until this point. Tapson went 0 and 14 in the first half of Inferno, but they do manage to win the pistol Immortals, and oh, he's not happy, is he?
He's so consistent on pistols, but you could sense the desperation starting to hit now for Big.
Yeah.
Remember how dejected Immortals looked at the start of map 2?
Exactly.
Well, they recovered, and now it's Big that just looks very frustrated. Almost too urgent, which could perhaps bleed into their playstyle if they start to get too frantic.
Well, they will force buy into this second round here, Big, with the Scout, Deagles, CZs. Certainly work out. The gear on the Scout. He has been in Orpha at some points in his career. We'll see whether he can step up with a Scout here. Usually, to be fair, every time I've casted him, he seems to be the dedicated Scout player that is a role. We get to round number 17. AK's 3 of those. Pretty strong buy for Immortals in that sense. 1 Scout for them as well. It's in the hands of Henny. And some wallbang damage trying to come in from the gear as it spams up. That doesn't land anything just yet, but getting some confrontation now.
Bolts does win out against Next. Great shot, Tabson. Bomb drop, 49 seconds. He's going to have to be careful because if he pursues onto Henny, the rotations are coming back into the site. Kiev still wins against KNG, however, Tabson stayed alive. Somehow he stayed alive. He was saved by Kiev getting KNG on the arrival. Henny thinks about planting the bomb. Tabson wants to get closer as a result. Legia, he's got this down to just Henny remaining. That's one way to steal the Thunder back, and they make it work, Legia, with the Scout.
He's called him out, said he could step up with that weapon, gets 2 kills of it. Tagging players up left, right and centre. The pistol's helping him out as well, but that's a bit of a blunder from Immortal after having such a successful round there. He went in for the 3 AK-47s, which means you have less utility, less smoke, less Molotovs. You have to take the jewels and go up against that scout. Down the lower ramp, you can see the gear's got nothing in front of him. Where are the smoke grenades? Why is he not being flashed at this point? Just a shooting gallery, and he has had some very good rounds. Probably the map of his career at the Major in the quarterfinal on Cobblestone.
It still means everything this game. The emotions are very, very high. Steel's gone quick. He could actually get a kill here. I don't think they're aware that he's this deep in the site. So he's actually being smart about posting up and holding the angle.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, it's going to be a fast-paced round. They've already got out of the main entrance. Legia looking to fight back with the UMP. Spots one, can't connect the shots just yet, but that one does. Takes Lucas down to 5 HP. Not going to be planted just yet. Key takes down KMG, got beat down in as well. It's a tight round for them. This is the 4th buy, but Immortals can't find any frags just yet.
None as of yet. Bolts very low. Oh, we get number, what is that, 6? I can't keep track. 6. Bolts went for it. Honor was there. They knew what they were up to. This is getting personal. 7. We got 7. Tabson gets Bolts. This is out of hand. And look at Tabson. Yeah. I think they're actually joking with each other because he goes to taunt, and I think that Immortals looked back over and smiled back.
Oh dear.
The first one was like, no, I'm not. You're not knifing me. I'm knifing you. And then Works, watch this. Tabson out of nowhere. He's not even anywhere nearby at this point. He's like, yeah, you know what? Screw it. This is unreal.
7 in 1 series. Keeve not enjoying himself just yet. There's a little panic there, but Tabson, that's a more jovial face. We like that. Getting fired up now. They tied things up at 9-9. Has to be the eco for Immortals. Bigger aware. And they'll be playing with the SMGs. 3 of those out. A couple of AKs as well. Very handy to have those on the CT side, for sure. Keeve now doing some shots through the smoke. Taking Steel and Henny down to about 37 HP each.
What a brawl this is becoming. With knives like that, you can tell they absolutely are sending a message. It's not, this isn't even about, obviously it's about winning if you boil it down, but there's so much more on the line for these two teams right now. The emotions, the fact that it got dirty real quick. And no knife, of all these ones, more significant than Keeve in overtime, but that has set the tempo. Tabson dinked up, has to be careful as he holds the corner, doesn't drop the bomb early, but now it's Goffy to run it behind them, and he just runs and guns. And he'll get it done. Tabson's able to find a kill as well on the Deagle as they push beyond. 9-9, and Bolts in a 1 versus 5. Chance to catch off Goffy, manages successfully to do so.
Yeah, nothing too exciting here, but Bolts gets 1 kill. That's something. Probably doesn't get the plant here, considering the bomb's location. Just trying to bait out that he might have gone down towards top of there, but it'll be dealt with by Keeve. Long range with the MP9, takes the kill. Something to get established now, the CT's probably. I would say in this sort of game, I'm like, screw the money. I'm not taking MP9s through to next round. I'm not, maybe even UMP, I'd get rid of one of those. I just want to be posting round victories, and Keeve certainly buys the AWP. This is good news for the reasons I just stated. So we'll keep 2 SMGs. The UMPs are fine on train, lots of close range encounters, but the MP9 had to go for sure. 2 AKs, definitely worthwhile having those up and collecting them from the Ts. You can hold more aggressive angles, go for the 1-taps, as opposed to the M4A1. We go to another 20 now, big with the lead, 10-9. Warp out, single AWP setup in the hands of Keeve. They usually run a single AWP setup. Legia can AWP as well, but it's quite rare to see them actually run with it at all.
Shot in. Keeve nearly hit, down to 15. Be very careful, all things considered. Oh, it's all back out toward A main. Flash as well, but Henny's preset and ready. There will be no turning away, no cowering in fear, just a straight shot. A flash of lightning. Keeve on 15 becomes a factor in this as well. Keep in mind on the AWP. Tabson's the only one of the B site. If ever a time to be brilliant. He does lead the way again with 16 kills. He's back up to the top of the leaderboard. Good find by Keeve to get Lucas. Here's the lurk. He wanted to go in. 2 players only toward B. Tabson's already got the first. There's 2 players only left, I should say. And he's still got position. He's got down Steel. He knows there's a 3rd, but he doesn't know where he's gone. And he's realized with the Molotov in play, he's wrapped around, and Bolts is suddenly left alone. All battles won by Big, and Tabson steps up perfectly in the B site.
Yeah, that's what the power of the AK-47 can do. Close range, one-tapping everyone, finding the shots. Good mobility as well from tabseN. As we mentioned, he was on 0 and 14 at one point in Inferno before his series was done. He wouldn't be able to recover, but he's finding form, and he's top fragging once again where he belongs, at the top of the scoreboard for Big. 11-9 has to be another eco now. Lost bonus starting to get there. 4th stage for now, but that only gets you $2,900. No bomb going down. They'd have to take Deagle's PT50s and a Tech 9. Steel's got some head armor. Must have a little bit more cash. Yet he didn't. There was no real reason to spend an extra $1,000, but he's opted for it. No nades. 1 set of armor and the bomb on the back of Henny. CT's lying wait as Immortals get ready to go in now.
Bolts gets found, trying to work his way in toward the A site silently. This tries to walk in and catch them all, but tabseN again, able to spray down 2, and tabseN will try and push up to get Henny, but he fakes out the bomb point, even with the low HP. tabseN still prevails. Another 3 kills, stretching his lead now, stretching his legs, you could say. 12-9, Big in control.
Certainly are. Looking very good right now. tabseN especially. It's great to see him finding form once again. Immortals have to answer back to this. Closing sectors now of this game. If you're just joining us, you've missed 2 very interesting maps. I was about to say exciting. Inferno potentially not so much, but Cobblestone certainly was. After going down 12-3, Big recovered, taking the game in overtime. Immortals adjusted themselves. And as we went to Inferno, we didn't think they stood a chance. That's the only map Big had really played in this tournament. 3-0, taking down the names of SK Gaming, FaZe, Cloud9, some of the best teams in the world. And no one could touch them on Inferno, but Immortals did it. A clean performance when they won 16-6. Here we are on train. I wasn't sure what to expect. Look, he has enjoyed himself. As we enter this round, double orb set up again, but on the T side. Virtus Pro run this sometimes. A few teams occasionally bring it out. Is this too much?
It's pressure applied early then. KNG gets to the corner, scopes in, I think, yeah. tabseN heard that, so he says, forget it. I'm not going to challenge. Here's a smoke. Bomb back toward T-spawn, by the way. And we are starting to see some play at Ivy. We have not seen it hardly at all. Lagia in behind the server as Lucas and Henny. Pop flash goes light. Henny jumps across on his own afterwards. Lagia's calling it because he heard utility and he's saying, all right, definitely for once we've got a battle here, so give me some help. This Molotov is to bait him in. They want, by next throwing that, Lagia is probably the one that actually called for this. He says, throw that behind me so that they can't rush through, and then they won't expect me to be in the corner. So this is actually quite clever if it works. He goes wide, he goes early. They miss his shot, he's got a Molotov down deep, and next follows it up. But man, oh man, Henny comes close to death. 14 HP inside the site. Meanwhile, he gets bolts. KNG can't follow up the double up setup, not paying dividends yet, but they still have the man advantage. Looking for more as well. tabseN sitting behind the bomb train. Bomb's gonna go back around though. Henny, he's going to bring it toward A main, so they'll all attack from the front side. Miss shot, Keeve, 1 HP! And still goes aggressive, but can't make it work. tabseN has to be the hero once more.
Yeah, there's a man to step up. Here he comes. There's one shot, but that's all he's got. Henny takes him down. It could have got problematic there with Henny low HP as well. I thought there was a chance. Time was ticking away. I had no idea as to where he was, but there it is. Immortals pick up their first round in 6. Going to round number 23. Money not fantastic for the Immortals side. 2 players surviving there. Lose this round. It's 13-10 with a harsh reset as well. The reinvestment's coming through. 4 players at, okay, 3 players at $0. KNG's got about 1,000. Still 3,300. Single orb set up this time. tabseN. Looks like he wants to go aggressive towards inner potentially, yeah. He will indeed. This is an inside push. I'm loving this idea. Can't get the first frag though. It's a back and forth affair with Copy, bringing it back to a 4-on-4.
4-on-4. 2 rounds separate. Keeve is watching toward Ivy. Yeah. Oh, checks it. Gets the damage in, but doesn't get the kill, which he may be lamenting. Instead of resting upon his laurels over toward Pop Dog, he goes back toward A main as they flash out. He's ready for it. He knows the flash means a peek is likely coming. Finds KNG. That's next to hold the alternate angle, and they have no idea. Henny just walks into it. Now Lagia can get aggressive. Oh, and thank you very much. I see the bomb, boys. How shall I choose to take down my next target? As he hears Lucas jumping around and over top of the dumpster, he'll be buried inside of it.
Yeah, that's all the Immortals can really do with this round. Trying to get some frags back in return, but a nice change of pace and everything. I'm liking that. The bolts, let's get something here. 45 seconds to work with now. At least the bomb's recoverable. But Nex and Kiev, they patrol the outside bomb side. God B, similar story towards Inner. Bolts of 22 HP. Shouldn't be able to win this. It should be almost impossible. Like, this is like 5% chance if that. He can pull this one off. God B will find him. Easy shot through. That's real problematic now for Immortals. The fact of the matter is, Matt, they win the previous round. Bomb doesn't go down here, and they get $1,400 per player. They're going to have to force into it, I think. Hope for the best. This is pretty much the do-or-die moment. Lose this, you're 14-10 down. Your money's not established. You're done for. It's up to Steel and his AK-47. We saw similar heroic plays from Na'Vi on this very map from a young man called Simple.
Yes, we certainly did. A young man who had a 1.4 rating and didn't make it through the groups. Steel, good start. Go. That's the AK. God B is the one he finds. Flash in, Tapson has to back away. Can't be as quick to try and capitalize, and he's got to be very careful when he does, because Bolts is much closer than anticipated. That gives up his rifle, so now not only do they have the AK, they have an M4 picked up, and they're a man down.
No one inside whatsoever. That site is open. Kiev has to rotate in. He's late. He doesn't know. Has anyone slipped through? Have they gone through upper? Maybe made it to the site already. Are they pushing towards me? It seems quiet, which it is. Nagia towards a pop dog. He's going to be key in this situation. Next goes to push inside from what I can see. So it's up to the gear now to hold strong at that pop dog position. He's patrolling the entire outside bomb site alone. No idea what's going through city spawn. So many gambles being taken right now.
Found Henny with the drop down. Tech9 wins the exchange. There's only 2 left now for Big. They can't afford to throw away this lead. Another change of heart. He does at least pick up Henny on the entrance, but Bomb's already bypassed him and gone toward position where Bolts can plant safely inside of the train. Next gets closer and closer, but stops up, and that means they know likely what he's up to, but still he finds Bolts retreating.
Oh, KNG.
This is even better. Knife number 8, don't you dare. Just get it. You see them both. Just get it and take them. Why do you have to make it wait so long? He does eventually get it on the Tech9 and pulls Kiev back, who goes to the AK, spots up both players, but Steel's got the angle and a win with the 1 AK for Immortals.
Of course. Of course it happens. 4 pistols, 1 AK-47. Steel has to step up. He only gets 2 frags, sure, but he brings in the 5-on-4. He makes things uncomfortable. And at that point, Tapson tries to step up. We know Counter-Strike. It's a reaction-based game. If you lose the first pick, someone needs to go and get it in return. You can't allow Immortals to have that much freedom. Tapson pushed the lower ramp. Couldn't get anything for it. Dropped. 5-on-3. And Kiev with a decent attempt there, but couldn't win the round. Nagia had to step up towards that pop dog run. We said he was key. Pivotal position. Didn't work out for him. It's round number 25. Faster pace play, and we now have money for Immortals again. Molotov's deployed, and KNG back on the AK-47 as Henny trying to open things up with the orb.
Well placed from KNG on the AK-47. Proficient with both weapons, it appears, as we know, as he's slotted into the role of rifle. Molotov back down toward him, and they're going to potentially push through it. Damage taken by KNG, but not a significant amount. Instead, though, watch in front of E-Box. Scobby changes his position and almost catches Steel off. Not quite. Kiev AWP, not fast enough to catch KNG jumping. Tapson versus 3. It's a man you'd want alive, but he's got to be quick. And very quick at that, because it's an M4. It doesn't have the one-shot potential. KNG low enough. He could potentially find him, though. But he doesn't have the kit.
Yeah, it's looking pretty desperate for him at this point. Has to start hitting some very impressive shots. There's one. Now we've got a chance. 1v1. Has to rush him down. He's going to find him, but Henny's ready for it. Had to make so much noise there. Like we said, no kip. Pushes in. And now things starting to get a little bit more interesting. Immortals have clawed their way back into this. 2 rounds in a row. It's broken the money of Big. Do they take a pause here? Doesn't look like they decide they need it. Should be tied up at 13-13. CZs, P250s. 1 set of armor, that's for God B, an HE for Tapson, but very unlikely they do anything with this round. Tapson's just getting warmed up though. Like we said, 0-14 on Inferno, this time 25-16, turning his game around as we enter round number 26.
And he thought for sure the AWP was on the left of A-Main, which is why he got no kid. He has to get the kill early. He can't let it come down to a time-based one-on-one. Eve, aggressive. KNG, did he see the gun or not? Well, thanks very much for a misthrown Molotov. It won't matter. Cheeky throw from KNG. Looking to try and find Kyiv, and now they're firing back.
They certainly are. Nex is down on 20 HP now. Not really much they can do with this situation. Just hold up and hope someone goes wild with a P250. As good as it's going to get. Very unlikely, especially if Immortals approach it in a calm and calculated manner like they are. Shouldn't be any issues there. Bit of CZ damage towards balls. That's about all they'll get though. Kyiv now surely doesn't get a kill here. Does damage, sure, but does get dealt with by Lucas.
Off the ladder they go. Next on 20, still finds a kill somehow against Steel. Lucas and Henny are able to get the response frags immediately, though. Bomb should go down. We tie ourselves 13-13. Lakia wants a say in the argument by flanking, but another large shout to be heard against 4 players, which quickly find him and sort the issue. Tie game. Immortals are accumulating money. Still a chance to break them back, but it's going to have to be, and I was going to say a timeout call because it's going to have to be perfect from Big from here on out.
Makes sense. This is the 3rd and final map of the first major for either of these teams, right? This is all on the line. Semi-final, your first one as a challenger. So that's sick. That's unbelievable. Right, Big now lofts the lead and taps in. Just trying to calm himself down. Get back in the zone. He's currently on 25 frags. Lucas 13. Orb does come out for Kyiv once again, who's had some great impact, I have to say. The gear down to a Famous. No double orb set up on the Immortal side either. It's Henny. No weapon. Better game from him. 17 kills, 18 deaths. Same story for KNG as well. KNG went absolutely off on Cobblestone, I have to say, the first half. No kits, just to note, Matthew.
No, none.
Has been a problem the last few clutches.
Certainly in the one-on-one with Tabson it was. What amount of pressure these players must be feeling this far into a major. As you say, the new teams to even get into the legend spots. Smoke's down. Ballman's getting ready to go B. Tabson, oh, he might be sold on this. And put a smoke out lower. He's been proficient when they do head toward B, and he's up by himself, but only when he's anticipating it. Right now, he's far off where he's typically playing from, and they're going to go into the lower position. Kyiv steps out. Oh, chance to hit them both. He gets tagged up. No kill comes in, and that could be a problem because it means Bomb goes down here shortly, surely, unless Tabson can do something of it. They've not gone for it yet. When they do, shot in, headshot, and follow-up. Tabson soloing the site as Nex hits a headshot onto Henny, and Bolts is found as well. Big never give up the lead. They keep it 14-13.
That's beautiful stuff from Tabson, as you were describing. He was the only player that could really do anything about that situation. They overlooked the upper platform position. He walks in, helps himself to 2 kills. Nex help him out at that point as well. As it'll be 14-13. You're absolutely right. They do not lose the lead here. It was quite a big one they had. The 3 rounds in a row for Immortals tied us up. Tabson saves the day once again. You can see what it means. He's fired up. He's loving it. And once again, we're down to pistols for Immortals. Sure, they haven't opened a couple of AKs, but still, with just a Tech 9 and KNG with Deagle, no armor. As Henny, though, to find the first frag once again. Out dueling. Kyiv and...
Careful, boys. My God, he went back in the middle again when he was blinded. Had to give away a lead early. Henny does very well to find the angle, but almost gifted more than he was potentially worth. They won with a single AK, an off double AK, and they have the first pick. This is a chance. Bit more tension at Ivy, but it still seems to be front of the site that gets most of the attention. Copy his reverse box. Pop Dog with Nex to hold off A main. He's going to swing. He's going to swing. Missed the shots. He couldn't afford to do so. Tech 9 wins it. M4 picked up. Lakia with 1. Backs away. Not normally on the AWP. He's going to need support because he's taken down by Steel, who goes to the sandwich. Nex spots it, but does nothing up. And turns around and realizes he has company on both sides. We might have a tie game again.
Yeah, almost certainly at this point. It's up to Nex. Tabson, though, and never say never when they're around. Tabson with 1. Nex chimes in as well, but it's not enough. 2 versus 1 situation. Tabson still can win this. Bomb down in his favor.
Oh my goodness. He could still win this. Goes aggressive on KNG, who fired with the Deagle. Smoke down. Gives a bit of room between the two of them. Bomb is behind Tabson, but he wants the information. He wants the peek, and Henny's going to best him with the AK. We get tied again, and money is a factor.
It is. You're absolutely right.
Oh dear, for Big. Fully reset, they can just about buy into this, but pick your poison time. Do you force into this? Look to keep the lead. Or do you eco and allow Immortal to get map point first, and you're playing for overtime there. Tapson, so many great shots. What a performance he's had in this major so far. 2 versus 1 to finish things off, gets the first kill, but they'll finish the job. Money available certainly for Immortals here. But if they were to lose this, they'll be reset as well. You can see that. Khalil for KNG, Lucas, MB7. It's going to come right down to the wire. Overtime certainly possible here. That's if Big pick up the round. We'll see what happens.
If Big pick up the round, because if they lose it, they're
done as well.
Done.
Yeah.
Wow, what a back and forth brawl. What a series. And it's going the absolute distance. We are guaranteed 30 rounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
EWP for Henny. Started it last time, and he's going to go to the same position again. Do not enter. No one will. No one goes near it. Shot spotted. Bolts 2! He's got 2 already. Big problems for Big. Money the factor. Death's the cause.
Laguerre's got to react here now. He's pushed Ivy. He's going to go all the way on T-Spawn. His teammates desperately trying to fight for their lives here. It's Tapson pushing inside, getting job done. He gets the headshot, but that's all he'll get. Now Laguerre in the 3 versus 1. This round was everything, and he can't find the shot. The low HP of Henny eludes him, and there it is. Series and semi-final point for the Brazilians. Money in turmoil now. $2,000 per player. They only get $1,900 per player in the round. This could be it. They're going to have to dig deep here. They did win a round before with 1 scout on pistols. That's what we're going to have this time again. It's next on the scout. But they had a huge lead here. Big. This would be gutting for them. It would be so demoralizing to go out in this fashion.
What a turnaround for Henny. Up to 21 kills. The double AK AWP setup. He hits 2 early shots on the round that essentially breaks Big. He goes again. He's got copy. It's KNG this time, excuse me, but it's the early AWP. Causing so much problems for Big.
Yeah, this is rough. Pistols to step up here. Tapped for the 5-7. We'll watch him, but it's Laguerre that goes down first. A swift shot from the AK-47 of Bolts. Next alone, essentially, on the outside bomb side. His teammates grouped up in the connector. They'll make their way out, but KNG's finding kills. This could be it. Low HP, but Nex is fighting back.
Nex is fighting back. The flank is coming in. Lucas with 1 is on. The Tapson found by KNG. And it's only Kiev. The German swan song. The Cinderella story, the unexpected appearance, and it's Immortals that might be the ones to take them down. Kiev does at least spawn up 1 more. We're taking the shots right away. Bolts pops out, and we've got 5 Brazilians in this tournament. It's not SK.
Who's going to take that final map? They're fired up. It was a fantastic series generally, ups and downs. Shocking performances, some amazing ones, and can't get over the finish line there. It's Big. They have to go home at this time, and unfortunately, with that huge lead they had in the second half, couldn't convert it to a victory.
2 or 3 very key moments and clutches that went against them, and the money just fell apart.
Yeah.
I mean, through the booth, by the way, I can hear Immortals screaming. This means so much to them. Finally, they're in a major. They're in a semi-final on the side of the bracket that has North and Virtus Pro, who have had their struggles in the past. Yeah. There's a real chance they can make it to the final.
Absolutely. They could do this, and the only Brazilian team left. But Matthew, it's been a pleasure. It's a shame we didn't get the crowd roaring for this one, but I've enjoyed my time with you. Paul, over to you to finish off the show.
Yes, thanks, Henry. Thanks, Sadakist. Great commentary late in tonight here. It is nearly 1 AM here in Poland, so we're going to wrap up relatively quickly on a great day of quarterfinals. The Immortals are through to the semi-finals. What a great achievement for the qualifying team. They struggled to get here in the first place, and then when they do, they get absolutely mental and raised to the last 4. Isn't the 5 Brazilians that we expected in the semi-finals, but they've got 5 men to cheer for.
Yeah, it's not, but it's certainly a very exciting 5 Brazilians that we have. I mean, KNG I thought was spectacular. He was so much fun to watch in this across this whole series. Henny, obviously, we know him, but and getting fired up in the booth.
Yeah,
still showing some life in the.
Showing some life in
the
Like
me some fire.
Just before we close in on Immortals, let's just reflect back on the road for Big as well. It's been a great run for them. It's come to a sad end for them. I feel particularly sad for Tapson, who's dropped to 31 in the last game. He had a 1-1, a 1v1 at 14 all. That if he wins, it goes the other way in this game. So so close and yet so far, but what an amazing achievement to finish top 8.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the reset, you know, after having a rough map, he definitely could do that
Didn't
reset.
he just?
Yeah. Kind of ironic that they eventually lost Inferno in this series, having gone through 3-0 on Inferno through the groups. But yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of promise for this team. Individually speaking, I think they exceeded a lot of expectations for all of us on this table right now. Next had a great tournament. Tapson obviously had a phenomenal tournament. Key showing up, and you know, the Joker factor of Legia apparently having some great games here and there too. That'll help, obviously. They have so diverse way of approaching this game, and they're so good at adapting most of the time. But it's, you know, it's these close little battles that they just haven't been able to come out on top against a team like Immortals, who are really good at taking the brawl. Very simplistic style in the sense of they did a lot of the stuff I was talking about before the game as well. They'll just Henny or steal sometimes, just going for that cheeky peek from team middle. They get them at advantage, so they group up with 1-3-1 a lot of the time, and they just ambush at the outer bomb side and then make sure they're trading effectively, so they'll have the man advantage come after plant situation.
It just felt to me a little bit that Big got caught up in like the Immortal style of play, like that emotional swing, right, where you're cheering after everything and you're yelling at your opponent. We haven't seen Big do that in this event going on. I mean, they have their own like emotional issues within the team, but I mean, when you see some of the swings that they won throughout the clutches, either winning or losing them, I think that's Immortals' game. That's what that's how they want the game to be, and I don't think Big. I think that got them out of their comfort zone a little bit.
A few final words on Immortals, Natu. It's a terrific achievement for these boys.
Yeah.
They've hungered after these majors to prove that they can play with the best in the world. They've won tournaments outside of the majors, but this is where it really counts, and they've come up big. And
they are ironing out their issues, you know, bit by bit all the time in the tournament. I feel like they are having a good time in terms of like putting together the situations where they usually kind of got off guard. Maybe they got a little too much ahead of themselves. Now they utilize the time in the after plan situations, you know, the extra 10 seconds you have, you see them actually think things through in those kind of situations. So if they can keep up that composure, keep their emotions in check, you never know where the storyline might take them.
On the other hand, I feel like at the start of the second map, they kind of lost it a little bit, and they got a bit angry and a bit cross, and that somehow fired them up. So maybe they do need to lose it a bit more.
I think obviously losing the first map the way that it did is gonna make you angry. I mean, you have to think this could have been a 2-0, and this almost feels like it should have been to a certain degree a 2-0 for Immortals, because the Cobble was just so dominant. They just lost track of that T side, obviously. But yeah, I mean, you have that kind of a break, and you just come in and you stomp Inferno, and you could just see that they weren't willing to like let this one go. They were just gonna fight for it the whole way.
All right, thank you very much, gents. We're going to wrap things up, and we are done for our first day inside the Toron Arena. We've got 2 more days to go. Tomorrow, we'll see the final quarter-final versus